think it's working. What's up, you guys? Hello? What's up, you guys? Okay. I think I fixed it. Hello? Okay. I think I fixed it. Let's see. Hello. Hello. Aha! I think we got it. Aha! I think we got it. All right. What's up, you guys? Bill1924 here, and today we're going to be playing the game. As you can tell by my title, we're going to be playing. What is this? What's this game called? I'm just kidding. We're going to be playing Trick and Treat. Not or, but and. Okay, and let me type in the chat real quick. Okay, I put out a chat. Let's see, why can I not hear the game? Oh yeah, I muted my headphones. Okay, so we should be public, right? Yeah. Okay, so back to the intro. What's up, you guys? Bill1924 here. I gotta be quiet because the fam is asleep. Alright, but let's see, we're going to be playing another wonderful visual novel game. Now, I know people don't read the description, but, oh my god, Cole's here. Okay. This game was related to Doki Doki Literature Club. It came up in Steam as related, and we're already buffering. Okay. Sorry, you guys are going to hear my mouse and typing, whatever else I have to do. This microphone's really good, and I have no way to mute it down, but that's fine. My fans are on, my lights on, you're going to hear all the background noise, but who cares? It's a stream. I'm not making a video here. Alright. So, like I said, this game is very much like Doki Doki Literature Club. I don't know, I've never played it. But hold on, let me get it set up real quick, you guys. Display mode, full screen. There we go. Alright, now let me make sure it's still on the stream here. Give me like a few seconds. There we go. Set up. Hold on, I have to wait for a stream to catch up. Full screen. And it disappeared. No, it didn't. Sweet. Alright, you guys. Let's see. Everything should be good. Alright. So now, let's begin. The greatest game of all time. I'm just kidding. For starters, one thing that I noticed about this game before we even play it, the video quality is not, the animation is not the same as Doki Doki Literature Club. I think this game has smaller budget. I mean, the screens look good, everything looks, transitions, enable, okay. So, I don't know if this is a horror game or what. It came out related, probably because it's another visual novel game. But, I gotta look out for my people who want to see this stuff. So, without further ado, let's start. The sound of our steps, combined with that of the occasional nocturnal animal, is the only thing we can hear. Oh dear. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be reading all this stuff to you guys in case you can't see it. Because out of curiosity, hold on, I want to see if it... Hey, it fits. Okay, we're good. It's terribly dark in this place. The dense vegetation makes it impossible to see the sky or light from the moon. Oh yeah, and our flashlights are the only thing that light up our way. Oh yeah, and before I go on, I might not be able to read that good. Me and some friends went paintballing yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday for me. And I got hit in the head pretty bad. It didn't feel too good. Cold boy, can you play some Gucci Gang in the background? No. Lil Pump is dead to me. I don't like Lil Pump. Never will. Alright. But, yeah, I got hit a few times with some paintballs. We have fun. I was thinking about taking a GoPro, maybe making a paintball video. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. But let's continue our game. At times like this one. What? At times like this, one begs to not run out of battery. We walk without knowing what we are really looking for, or better said, for no reason. We are just a group of boys, bored with our lives. Very much. Trying to create a lasting memory on this night, instead of just staying home doing nothing. Today is October 31st. All Hallows Eve, better known as Halloween. Dang it! I should be playing this game on Halloween. We'll revisit it. 3 young men walk through a dark, but up until now, nothing special forest, me being one of them. We are doing it to prove our courage. It's too bad there isn't a girl here to see how brave we are. I think a girl's gonna appear. Seeing it like that, one could say this is a meaningless effort. Why, of course. For a moment, I stopped to look at my watch. It's 1:49 a.m., which I'm going to be playing until this game is over, so I'm not going to sleep tonight. That means we have been walking aimlessly for more than 2 hours now. Okay. I am sure that many people will find a place like this terrifying. But once you get used to it, the fear disappears, making it feel like normal. Okay, can we talk a minute about the forest background here? This place looks creepy. Which, I mean, it makes sense because the saying in the game. And you can tell, like, a lot of this is hand-drawn and they haven't had time to run it through filters that much. And to smooth it out, which, I mean, I don't mind that. Usually games like this make up for that with a deep and convoluted story, which hopefully it doesn't have one. Oh yeah, while I was playing paintball, oh my gosh, I keep getting off topic. And while I was playing paintball, I got hit in between the fingers. It does not feel very good. It kind of hurt. And I pelted my friend like 5 times. We have fun. I'm definitely going to make a video. But back to this. I keep getting off topic. It's that paintball to the head. Gave me a concussion. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, I'm pretty sure I read that. Okay, what makes us afraid of the dark is that we cannot know what hides in it, what lurks in the shadows. But this is clearly an empty darkness. At that moment, I sigh, feeling how tired my legs are. What is the point of being here? Clearly, we had already demonstrated what we want. It would be best to return, I should tell them. I was about to speak when suddenly the atmosphere in the forest becomes strange. It does. It's very foggy. Suddenly, a cold chill runs through my body. I've been getting those because the air conditioning unit's right behind me. It was like any other chill, except it was not going away. Huh, that's weird. For no reason, the air's temperature dropped from one second to the other. So much so, my breath becomes visible, turning into mist. This descriptive, very descriptive here. I like that. It doesn't end there. The air is now filled with a rotten smell, just a little short from being unbearable. Excuse me. Images of worms and flies soon appear in my mind, giving me a really unpleasant feeling. We all stop at that moment. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this dude's name is Axel. I can't tell from the font, but it looks like Axel to me. I mean, I guess that's a name. So Axel says, "What's happening?" I'm just kidding. It's not his voice. He's like, "What's happening?" I ask, confused, while turning to look at my friends. Oh, so we're Axel? Question mark. I don't know. By the expression on their faces, it was easy to know that they were just as lost as I was. Well, that sucks. I hope at least someone would know. Oh, jeez. I don't like these footsteps. I already get paranoid this late at night. It was then that we heard footsteps nearby that did not come from any of us. We all got dead quiet after that. I'd be dead quiet myself. I'd run. I'd be out of there. I don't know if it was out of fear or to check if it was not a mistake, but we stayed motionless like statues without making a noise. Just looking at each other's faces, wondering the same thing. What was happening? So that's our friend. Right? That's his friend. F-R-I-E-N-D. Okay, friend. This font, so weird. As if I could know. So we're Axel. Pretty cool name. We heard the steps again. They clearly belong to a human, or at least to a large animal. But there is something strange about them. It sounds as if the person walked... It sounds as if the person walked, dragging one foot. Just thinking about it made me shiver. Ugh. Okay, friend. I don't know if I can say this word. I don't know if I'm allowed to in this house. Hopefully no one hears me. Damn. Why is this happening? It makes no sense. We should have returned home before. But now it's too late to regret. I have the feeling that we are being stalked by someone. Could be. The strange footsteps stop, but I'm still feeling the presence nearby. I don't know where it is, but I know that it's looking at me. That cursed thing is looking at me. What? Okay. He didn't mention anything about something being cursed. I don't know. Oh yeah, by the way, you guys. Oh, hold on, let me read this line real quick. My heart is beating anxiously. Alright, by the way, to whoever's watching, if anyone's watching, probably not. But I finally got my new computer set up. And let me tell you guys, it's been running great. Like, I can run games on high settings, I can stream better now. Everything's improving. I'll be able to stream better stuff on the Elgato, finally full screen. I won't have to cut the sides off like I always do. But yeah. Oh, and the reason the sides look cut off on the stream on this is because I'm streaming from OBS Studio. And when I full screen it on my monitor, it cuts the sides off as well. Just so you guys know. See, I'm not streaming poor quality, it's just how the game is. Okay, so I read that. It's almost as if my body was telling me to get out of there. Why would you? I'm curious, I want to see. But strangely, my friend seemed unable to perceive it. Okay, friend, it seems that it's gone. It must have just been an animal. I read that wrong. Said one of them, convinced that we were safe. I would like to believe that too. We had a sigh of relief, however, bad luck would soon strike us again. This music, it sets the whole scene. I don't like these, I don't like it when a screen goes black. It scares the crap out of me. Freaking Doki Doki gave me PTSD. Unexpectedly, the forest becomes darker than before in just the blink of an eye. But that wasn't the fault of the forest, but of our flashlights, which went out. Of the three, only one, mine, was still working. Friend, what's going on? Did the batteries die? Asked one of them scared while they both beat... Okay. Asked one of them scared while they both beat them desperately as if that was going to revive them. I can't blame them. The idea of walking in the darkness was not pleasant for anyone. But after a few moments, we had no choice but to resign ourselves to that. Once more, the sound of our footsteps is heard. But the silence is different now. Oh my gosh, I keep looking behind me already and we're just starting. I think this is going to be a horror game, you guys. We are not quiet because we have nothing to say, but because we are afraid. We continue walking despite the fear that invades us. Visibility is almost zero, but we have no choice. In theory, we are walking back, looking for the exit, but I cannot remember anything of this forest. We could be walking in circles, and I would never notice it until it is too late. I hate the thought of it. I just want to get out of here. What happened? Suddenly my thoughts are silenced. Oh my god. We hear the footsteps of someone or something. This music is going to drive me insane, you guys. I mean these sound effects, not the music. The music's good. Once more, the three of us become statues awaiting the presence to go. I hold my breath while feeling my heart beating anxiously. Really again? Okay. Damn. Get away from here and leave us alone. Unexpectedly, the steps are heard closer. This time, they do not disappear, but rather come at us. I can't stand it. Desperately, I move my flashlight everywhere looking for the author of those footsteps. That's one way you could word it. Hoping for the light to reveal their identity and erase our fears. Nothing. 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 Is that all there is around here? Just empty air? My anxiety grows with each failed attempt. I refuse to believe that it was a ghost. Suddenly, when I move the flashlight again, I see a silhouette. I could not distinguish what it was, but before a moment, the light revealed something. Quickly, I point to the same place, only to discover it was gone. I hold my breath anxiously. It was not an illusion. I am sure that I saw something. It was then that I heard something nearby. Without even thinking, I aimed the light towards that place. And what do we see? What I found leaves us paralyzed with an expression of disbelief on our faces. It is a white cat with eyes of an intense red which stands before us. Her look is not the friendliest, to say something. Somehow, I get the feeling it's a female cat. Suddenly, she lets out a thunderous meow that leaves us terrified. It sounded more like a lion roaring than a simple cat. The echo of her meow is heard throughout the forest, making it sound more sinister than it would be. It was then that suddenly an inexplicable force hits us three. Wow, I did terrible with that. I fall to the ground, and little by little my eyelids close. The fatigue becomes unbearable. Sorry about the white light from the game, you guys. Bet you out, woke you up. I lose consciousness on the ground of the forest without knowing what was going to happen with me. Interlude. Before night falls. Do I click? Okay. Oh, there we go. It's a day like any other. So normal that it was almost painful. The only special thing that could be said about it is that it's October 31st. Far were the memories when I was a kid and went out with my friends to ask for sweets from house to house. Just remembering it made me sigh. I feel nostalgic. Some things were better when I was a child, or at least it seems like that. There were some who had good costumes, whether of superheroes or monsters. My friends and I, on the other hand, had to use our imagination. Creativity was our costume, you could say, no matter how funny it could sound. I remember that my mother once painted my face and told me, "You will be the devil." Once painted red my face and told me, "You will be the devil." Wow, that's nice. But it seems only she saw it that way. When we went from home to home, everyone said I was the tomato man. But those things didn't matter to me, since we always had a good time. If I asked for candy now, even if I had the best costume, I'm sure no one would give me anything. Except perhaps a scolding for acting like a child when I am 17 years old. Hey, I'm 17 years old. That's cool. But anyway, I can't stay in the past. I must live in the present, no matter how little exciting that might be. Back to reality. We are a group of friends who don't have any plans for today. We are still not old enough to go to a disco. I think he means club. And I doubt guys as us would have any luck in that environment. Also, they're nerds. Same. The other option would be to go to a party, meet girls, and have fun. Everything perfect, except that nobody has invited us. Not being popular has its disadvantages. Friend. Hey Axel, let's have a couple of matches. What do you say? My friend Steven called my attention while playing with the game console. Rush Red. I believe that's what the game is called. A fast and quite complicated fighting game for me. I would normally agree to play with him, but for some reason I don't feel in the mood today. I have no desire to play now. I replied with discouragement. I almost feel bad for doing it. Steven. Boring. The AI is no rival for me. Steven said with confidence. That you're playing on normal difficulty does not help your argument. Okay, so now it's back to us. I don't feel like losing, but if you want, you can challenge... Okay. I don't feel like losing, but if you want, you can challenge Alfred. I said, leading my attention to my other friend. Okay, so we have Alfred, Bruce Wayne's butler from Batman. I don't know how to play that, answered Alfred. Alfred, doubting for a second. He's sitting behind the PC, but it seems that he isn't doing anything interesting. The screen only shows a lot of text. I think he is in Wikipedia. Hey, don't you... Okay, so it's back to us. Hey, don't you have something more fun to do? I asked with discouragement without even thinking about what he was reading. Alfred looks at me surprised. The actual problem of society is that people are not interested in discovering their history. He's one of those pseudo-intellectuals always looking for any rare information to appear smarter than others. When we forget our past mistakes, we are doomed to repeat them. He added later. So Steven's talking now. What are you talking about? This village is small and its story is not interesting at all. Nothing outside of the normal has ever happened in it. Alfred laughs mockingly after hearing that. Your ignorance is worthy of praise. Oh gosh, he's one of those. He pauses, filling his chest with pride. The very fact it is... Oh my god. The very fact it is a small town is the reason it's full of mysteries. He has a good point. I get depressed every time I look at the freaking who all's watching the stream. We're definitely doing this again at Halloween. There's only one person watching. It's just downright depressing. This is public, right? Yeah. Alright. Did you know that 20 years ago, on this date, a man disappeared? Oh, dang it. That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on, you guys. My way to watch the chat is giving me issues. So, what about it? I asked without being impressed or even interested in the least. Things like that happen all the time in all places. I'm tripping, guys. As I thought, you don't know the history despite living in this very place. Alfred said while adjusting his glasses in an arrogant gesture. Ooh. There is a legend behind the disappearance. That is what I was reading. After listening to him, I looked back at the computer screen with curiosity. It's then that I noticed that it was not Wikipedia, but some other page. Come on, read this and learn a little. Alfred said, inviting us to read what was on the screen. Both Stephen and I moved closer to read it. Town of Abingdon, Oxfordshire, country, 1994. So we'll just call this place Oxfordshire, because that's the only word here I know how to pronounce. I came to this town with only 4,000 inhabitants to support them in an investigation. The truth is that never in my life have I seen something this strange. I won't say your typical detective-ish nonsense that I've seen thousands of strange things in my life. I've seen many crimes, yes. Some difficult to solve, but all of them were human. Even if you don't know how they managed to perpetrate the crime, you know that they are people like anyone else. In this case, I don't think I'm able to say the same thing. Truth is that I can't understand what happened. I was called for the disappearance of a man named Matthew Graham. He is 23 years old, single. The last time he was seen, he was returning home from a Halloween party. He had drank alcohol but was still sober. Or at least that's what witnesses said. Anyway, this is not something which can be explained with a simple drunkenness. He apparently got lost on the way home and decided to enter the forest called Oakwood. It had rained yesterday, so the ground was wet and muddy. We could easily find his traces, which were leading deep inside the forest. Apparently he walked for 3 hours before stopping. I say stop, but the truth is we don't know what happened then. The track suddenly ended up in a clearing in the forest, and that's all. There was no evidence of struggle. No other trace or pieces of clothing on the ground. There was no blood, no more footprints, anything else. The depth of his last footprints and the position they were in indicated that he was still walking. At no point he stood still. It was as if he had vaporized in the air, with all his clothes, in the middle of his walk. Sorry you guys, I keep looking behind me. I get like paranoid a lot. My bad. This says one watching, but I have no idea. Hold on. Is there really only one person watching this? Oh, 2 watching. Yay. Moving up in the world. Alright. Vaporized in the air with all his clothes in the middle of his walk. Obviously, I can't believe such a thing. But I can't give another explanation. The only thing I remember is that near the footprints, I sensed a faint smell of rot. However, there were no animal corpses nearby. It is ridiculous to think that he suddenly started to decay and became earth. In the end, the case was closed in just 3 days. With no evidence of any kind, we couldn't say anything but that he decided to escape from the village. However, while officially there was no more to do, I couldn't sleep in peace. Thinking about what could have happened to him took away my sleep. In my mind, I thought all sorts of theories. Like maybe everything was a plan developed by Matthew. But in the end, they all seemed impossible. I decided to investigate more on the issue. I searched the town for similar stories, and to my surprise, I found 4 more. All young men. The story was always the same. They walked into the forest alone, disappearing without trace. Even more curious is that all of them disappeared on the same date, October 31st. But there is more. A detail that completely eliminates the possibility that there is a killer or kidnapper behind this. And that is the separation of the years. Roger Bacon disappeared in 1924. Michael Smith disappeared in 1867. Jason Black disappeared in 1813. And the worst of all, Oswald Taylor disappeared in 1707. It simply couldn't be possible. My curiosity led me to dig deeper. I thought that the answer may be in the past of the forest. It was then when I discovered that what seemed to be simple and boring forest actually hid a great story. Before it was called Oakwood or Oaks Forest, the place was called Witchwood? Yeah, Witchwood. The word witch has huge similarity with witch. Taking into consideration that it is an old name and language changes over time. Changes over time. That indicates that it was the Forest of Witches. Apparently more than 400 years ago, the people of the village believed witches lived in the woods. Unfortunately, almost all the information is already lost. There were no stories told in voice. There were stories told in voice, without a properly written record. I just know that with the change of religion to Christian, people stopped seeing the witches with good eyes and began to hunt them. Apparently, the last one before her death cast a curse on the forest, which even today should continue to exist. Anyway, obviously I cannot accept something like that as the answer. In the end, I have no other choice than accepting that each one of them escaped from the village, using the legend of the forest to make it look like it was something supernatural. Okay, interesting story. I didn't know that such a story was hiding in this town. I said honestly surprised. Even if it is a lie, it managed to hold my interest. Wait, there's something more, Alfred said at the same time he scrolls to the comments. We read what is written there. A couple of comments call our attention. Both of them talk about some creature. At that time, they felt a horrible fear for what could happen to them. While the two comments share great similarities, they could have been written by the same person. There are many others that deny it. Looks like many people went to the forest because of the legend but couldn't find anything. I thought that you only read these things to look more cool before the girls, replied Stephen as a joke. Alfred giggles with a little shame. Partly yes. He admitted that was a secret everybody silently knew. Stephen, well, now we have an activity for tonight. Stephen said at the same time he makes a face overflowing with enthusiasm. Axel, what? I was completely lost. I thought we were just killing time. Stephen, simple. Let's go to that forest. Stephen replied without hesitation. He seemed really fascinated by the story. Alfred, are you insane? Said Alfred, unable to believe what he just heard. You only needed to look at his face to know he did not like the idea. Alfred, despite everything you've heard, you want to go. Stephen, of course. It will be a test of courage among us three. Replied Stephen, full of confidence, perhaps too much. He should relax a bit. Stephen, don't tell me you're afraid. Alfred, no, why should I be afraid? answered Alfred at the same time he folded his arms, making a false gesture of security. It's more than obvious that you are afraid, Alfred. Almost as much as when you have to talk with a girl. Stephen. What about you, Axel? Don't tell me you won't come. Suddenly, Stephen asked me at the same time, looking at me mockingly. Stephen, don't tell me you want to be the chicken of the group. I hate that tone of voice you used. Axel, I will never give you that, I said without thinking, showing a confident smile and look. Stephen, well, let's not say more. Take your coats, backpacks, flashlights, and some food. We are going to the forest. Stephen said, full of energy. I can't say it full of energy because everybody's asleep. Oh, yeah! Yeah! We three said in unison as if we were going to have some kind of private party. Not really knowing what we were doing or what we were going to find. 2:13 a.m. So this is after we were walking at the very beginning. So they see the cat, right? I awake completely confused, not knowing how much time had passed. My head hurts like hell, but I can't blame it. Fortunately, the pain goes away quickly, just as my confusion. Soon I come back to my senses. My flashlight is lying on the ground, shining towards the empty air. I immediately pick it up. It was my only protection against the darkness that surrounds me. Now I remember that Stephen and Alfred were with me. Stephen, Alfred, can you hear me? Without thinking, I screamed their names in the dark while trying to find them with my flashlight, but there's no trace of them. They're gone. Where the hell are they? And what the heck just happened? I really don't understand anything. Crap, we should have stayed home. This is not a proof of courage. We could be in danger. I have to find them. Alrighty, now the game begins. That was a long backstory, guys. Or me. It's a long backstory, Ben. A little time has passed since I started to look for my friends, and I already can't stand this place. I'm going crazy in this forest. The darkness that covers it is unnatural. It's a darkness that steals your own sanity, replacing it with anxiety. To make it worse, the air is damp and cold as in winter, carrying a strong rot smell, as if there were corpses of animals hidden throughout the forest. I keep looking behind me. Okay. The atmosphere in this place is oppressive. With every step you take, it makes you more uncomfortable. Since I started to look for my friends, I felt that something is watching me, but there is nothing. I sigh with my voice full of frustration. I just want to get out of here. I continue walking devoid of any hope. No matter where I look, or how much I walk, I find nothing. I cannot even hear the sounds of animals. Rather, it seems they are already dead and rotting. No, I have to calm myself, I said to myself. I stopped for a moment to rest. I breathed deeply, but the rotten air of this place does me no good. Immediately, I start to cough as if I had something stuck in the throat. What am I going to do? This cursed forest seems endless. And even if by miracle I could escape, I cannot abandon Stephen and Alfred. I'm really screwed up. Again, I sigh, feeling on the verge of tears. My frustration is building up, but I have to do my best to keep calm. If I fall into despair, then there is no doubt I will be joining the list of missing persons. In the end, I decide to keep walking. Step by step, I should get somewhere. At least I was convinced that staying in the same place would not do me any good. Even if it was only to deceive myself feeling that I am doing something, I wanted to continue walking. Time passes without any changes. Only the sound of my footsteps can be heard. Knowing that as soon as you stop, you will be surrounded by a dead silence is a good incentive to keep walking. But my legs were already hurting. Suddenly, I hear a crack at my feet. Instantly, I take a step back and look below to see what made that sound. What is this? I whispered to myself, surprised, discovering that I had stepped on an animal bone. I believe that it's from an animal, although I do not rule out the possibility that it belongs to a person. But for my own good, I prefer not to think about that. An expression of anguish is drawn on my face. It is best to ignore it. I have to keep walking. Suddenly, my flashlight reveals something. Without hesitation, I pointed towards there again. Oh God. Oh. I realized with the surprise that it is the white cat. The one from before, which made that awful meow, but this time I find it lying on the ground. It appears to be fainted and is wounded. And what should I do? So what do we do, guys? Should we ignore it, or I think we should pick it up? It's best to continue without waking her. That cat is dangerous. It's her fault that I ended up in this place and my friends are missing. But even knowing that, for some strange reason, I can't help but feel sorry for her. Even if it is unnatural, it is still an animal. I then bend down to see her closer. She is unconscious, and there was a thin line of blood coming from her mouth. I am a real idiot. I said to myself at the same time, I cleaned the blood from her mouth with a handkerchief that I had with me. Fortunately, she doesn't wake up. I then closed her mouth, making her appearance a little better. Now she seemed to be peacefully sleeping. After a long sigh, I decided to pick her up carefully. I don't know what the powers of this cat are, but if she brought me here, maybe she can return me to my world. With her in my arms, I decided that the best thing I can do is continue walking. "2:31 a.m. Again, I find myself in the dark forest walking aimlessly. Only moving forward, but it didn't seem I was getting somewhere. In my arms, I carry the cat, which sleeps soundly. What does it say? "Come here. Here you'll be safe." I suddenly stop. It's probably easy to see the disbelief on my face at that moment. It's that voice again. I whispered to myself with no one to listen to me. Shortly after I found the cat, a mysterious voice appeared in my mind. It is a feminine voice, soft and gentle, as if it belonged to a princess from a fairy tale, but I can't trust it. Am I really going crazy, or is it this forest that doesn't make any sense? I don't know, but I don't like any of the two options. I then feel the cat move in my arms. I look down at her confused just to see how she opens her red eyes suddenly. I become quiet at that instant. For a moment the two stay motionless, staring into the eyes of the other. The red eyes of the cat are disturbing to me, but also there is something fascinating about them. Something that attracts me. I lose myself in her eyes as if hypnotized, until suddenly she jumps with the intention of scratching my face. My reflexes my reflexes pushing her at the same time I jumped back, turning my head to dodge her claws. I managed to dodge her attack, but in the process I dropped my flashlight. I panicked and acted clumsily. The flashlight falls near me, lighting up a tree in the vicinity. As soon as it left my hands, I remember how dense this abnormal darkness is. I quickly pick it up, not even thinking before taking action. I then light the place where the cat was, only to discover she had arched her body angrily, as if she feared an attack from me. Those red eyes stared at me, shining with the light of the flashlight as if they were jewels, reflecting a fearsome hatred and rejection towards me. My body freezes after seeing them. I can't even think. The cat then lets out a thunderous meow similar to the one before, but weaker, although not any less frightening. There is no doubt there is something wrong with that animal. It must be cursed. Everything is her fault. She must be some kind of evil spirit, a pet of the witches. I feel how panic seizes me. My heart beats quickly, begging me to do something. My mouth is dry and my forehead covered with cold sweat. What should I do? Why would you run away from it? Let's confront it. No, I should not despair. I have to calm down and think carefully about what I should do. With that in mind, I take a deep breath and look again at her. Soon the expression in my eyes changes from fear to courage. I realize it is only a cat, without a doubt a strange one, but my life is not actually in danger. That isn't a tiger staring at me, but a simple cat. Apparently her only power are those weird meows. If she could kill me, she would have already done it. So I rule out that possibility. Her work must be transporting the next victim to this area of the forest, so unnatural and shady. After filling my lungs with air, I slowly walk towards the cat. Her meows get louder with every step, but I don't let them scare me. Seeing that, I do not turn back. She shyly takes a step back. In my mind, I smiled at that image. The prey is now the hunter. I looked at her directly while advancing. Little by little, her meows become weaker, as if she was losing strength. Then I suddenly jump and take her in my hands. She hardly resists at all. Not so tough now, right? You look better like this. She is trembling in my hands. She looks so helpless I almost feel like a villain. But I must not forget that she has done so far. It's her fault that I'm in this place. She brought me here, then if I kill her, would it be possible to go back? For a moment, that grim idea crossed my mind. I never killed an animal. Truth is that I can't be proud of myself in doing such a thing. But if I do, maybe this legend could end here and now. Then what should I do? Let's just keep her captured. It is only logical the magic should die along with the cat. That should be my ticket back. If I kill her, everything would be over tonight and the legend would come to an end. Confident that was for the best, I tried to view it in my mind, but no matter how hard I forced myself to see it, in the end I am unable to take the life of another living being. Even if it is a cursed cat serving a witch, I don't feel good killing her. I think I'm too nice for my own good. So the only thing that remains is to keep her with me, hoping that sooner or later she allows me to escape. With nothing more to think about, I decide the best thing to do is continue my path. 2:41 a.m. It's been a few minutes since I captured the cat. Again, I found myself walking with her in my arms, led by this strange voice. How long have I been walking in this forest? Apparently not enough to make me go mad, but it should be close. Don't be afraid. Come with me. I will help you. The voice sounds closer this time. It seems that I'm going in the right direction. I don't fully trust in it, but it's the best I have. At least at first glance, it seems a friendly voice. I'm completely focused on my way when I suddenly feel something bite me. Ugh, what the heck? I shout in pain, realizing that the cat bit my arm. Fortunately, it wasn't a dangerous bite, but it sure was painful. With my distraction, she takes the chance to jump from my arms, falling a few steps away from me. Quickly, I set my gaze upon her furies, but soon something happens that makes me forget about my anger. Suddenly, the cat is covered with a bright light, so much that it repels the unnatural darkness surrounding the forest, stealing my breath. Under the light, its figure gradually changes until it ceases to be a cat and becomes a human figure. Okay. No longer is there a cat in front of me, but a girl with incredible beauty. I must really be going crazy. She has white hair and red eyes. She seems about my age. In other circumstances, I would have asked her out without hesitation. Just thinking about it makes me laugh to myself in my mind. Even at the edge of madness, it seems some things about me will never change. She approaches slowly towards me, one step at a time, with no fear. The girl then stares into my eyes with a slightly irritated face. Her lips are moving, but she seems to be saying something. Her lips are moving, she seems to be saying something, but I am unable to hear a sound. Are you trying to tell me something? I babbled, still confused, with a face of disbelief which surely made me look stupid. Girl, said the girl with a very low voice. I do not understand what she is saying. What? I can't hear you well, I asked, still confused. Suddenly the girl pouts in a bad mood. Girl, what's wrong with you? Are you deaf? Finally, I could hear her clearly. And just in time, because it seems her patience was about to end. Okay, now I heard you, I said, annoyed. All of my astonishment from just a few seconds ago disappears when I see the arrogant attitude of the girl. At least now I don't think she will bite me, I hope. The girl then snorts with irritation. What an annoying guy I had to find, she said at the same time she places a hand on her lips, making a pensive face. Wait, you shouldn't speak ill of someone you have right before you, I was quick to respond. For a moment I feel annoyed at the thought that I have to teach manners to a spirit or whatever she is. A pity so much beauty wasted on someone so arrogant. The girl let out a snort of annoyance after hearing me. I'm sorry. It's a bad habit that I can't quit, she answered without sounding very repentant, clearly a false apology. After talking, she diverts her gaze toward the surroundings as if she was bored. I see, I replied, annoyed. I just met her and I already feel I don't like her. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I must not forget who this girl is. She was the cat that started it all. Anyway, at least could you tell me why you attacked me and my friends? I asked shortly after, acting more seriously. The greetings were over. It's time to get to the important stuff. Why did you bite me if I wasn't doing anything? Before I knew it, my lips moved, asking another question. I cannot lie, I was angry. The girl then stares at my face. She blinks with curiosity before speaking. Does it hurt, the wound? She asked innocently. Yes. I was quick to respond with annoyance. I didn't need to say more. Of course it hurts me, silly cat. She looks at me in silence for a few seconds until suddenly she approaches me without any shyness or fear. On second thought, how could a simple human such as me scare a cat that can turn into a person? Girl, show me your wound, said the girl when she stood right next to me. Her presence makes me nervous. This girl seemed to not know what personal space is. As embarrassing as it sounds, I never had a girl this close, if only it wasn't in this forest. I don't know why I shouldn't trust her, but strangely something tells me that she has no bad intentions. This girl is surrounded by a calm aura, something pure, unlike anything else in the forest. In the end, resigning myself with a sigh, I show her my arm with the bite. Immediately, the girl sets her sight on my wound. It will take only a moment, she said with complete confidence. She then looks up into my eyes. Could you close your eyes? She asked as she blushes slightly. I'm surprised to see that embarrassed face she has, even if just a little. Then I sigh, feeling something wasn't right, but there is nothing else I can do. Okay, I said, doing as she asked. I didn't know what to expect. For a moment, I thought she would... For a moment, I thought she would... or something like that. But what kind of magic can work only when you have... I don't know, but my mind sure wanted to imagine that. Come on, Axel, keep your composure. Suddenly I feel something warm and wet touch my wound. Immediately I shudder. Wait, what are you doing? It's a stupid question because I know well what she is doing. She was licking my wound. You idiot, who said you could watch? Was quick to respond the cat, with her cheeks red in embarrassment and her lips still close to my wound. She looked adorably troubled. Don't you see that I'm just trying to heal you? She then added in a bad mood. Sorry, I said, blushing. I thought you would do something more extraordinary. Now I'm not sure. Is she a girl who can transform into a cat, or a cat that can become a girl? Sorry to disappoint you not being extraordinary enough, murmured the girl at the same time she gives me an annoyed look, red eyes shining with disgust. It is then that I realize that the pain has disappeared. Curiosity, I look where the wound was, only to discover that now there is no trace of it. For a couple of seconds, I stay silent, incredulous. It seems that your treatment worked, I finally said, grateful, still looking at the spot. Well, of course, I've experienced healing myself, answered the girl, closing her eyes and inflating her chest to show her pride. I actually appreciate what she did, but I still wonder if she really had to lick it to cure me. I understand, but who are you? The girl makes a small snort with curiosity after hearing my question. And she tilts her head and closes her eyes, making a thoughtful face. It seems I have not presented myself. She opens her eyes and gazes into mine. My name is Ashley. Okay, so we finally get her name after like 30 minutes. So that's her name. I expected something more extravagant. My name is Axel. By the way, have you ever been accused of witchcraft? Before I knew it, I asked that question. I guess it was rather rude from me, completely lacking in manners. But I must not forget for even a second that I'm in this cursed forest. Ashley suddenly becomes silent. At plain sight, it was obvious she didn't take it well. She takes her time before responding. Yes, but that was a long time ago. Then she closes her eyes and exhales, emptying her lungs. She seemed to be recalling something painful. Just seeing her made me feel guilty. I'm sorry, it was not my intention to make you remember it. I said, slightly remorseful. No doubt to be accused of witchcraft must have been a horrible experience. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple of times. It's okay, it's not like I can blame your curiosity seeing where we are. Then she looks at me closely with curious eyes. By the way, how do you know about me? Perhaps you are a sorcerer who has lived during these past centuries? She asked, narrowing her eyes as if she was trying to see the inside of my mind. What kind of question is that? No, nothing like that, I answered at the moment. I'm just an ordinary person. I omitted boring, but she didn't need to know that. It's just that there are stories about witches in this forest. But as you can see, the stories are not very convincing, or else I wouldn't be here. I explained, trying to remove any doubt that Ashley may have. Again, she closes her eyes and nods. I understand. She pauses and looks me in the eyes. It's because of those stupid myths that stupid humans come to this forest just like you. She then said, looking at me with rejection. Wait, what are you trying to say? We are to blame? I replied, feeling offended. Ashley suddenly looks at me, disgusted. Are you an idiot? Yes, if you hadn't come to my... Okay. Yes, if you hadn't come, my existence would be nice and peaceful instead of this chaos that it is every year. She said, ending with a sigh of frustration. But you're the one who causes all of this. I was quick to respond. I won't even bother to hide my anger. I can't believe what she says. How arrogant can she be? Ashley opens her eyes wide, surprised. Then she looks at me with annoyance in her red eyes. Do you not understand, stupid human? Definitely, I don't like this girl. I'm only trying to protect you. Her words take me by surprise. Huh? I exclaimed incredulously. You attack me and attack my friends only to protect us? Yes. She simply replied. At the same time, she nods, filled with pride and confidence. Okay, that's it. I'm getting out of here. I cannot believe how arrogant and self-centered this girl is. After everything she did to me and my friends, I can't stand her any longer. Wait. I had only taken a few steps when I heard her calling me. She sounds really worried. You don't understand the real danger you're in here. I stop in my tracks as soon as I hear her. Real danger? I whispered, feeling some doubts. Suddenly I shiver. It doesn't look like she's lying. Yes, I try to chase them away using illusions. Other times I hit them with my powers. And as a last resort, I scare them directly, as it was in your case. Ashley confessed, blushing a little as if she felt embarrassed of remembering. And why do you do that? I was confused. Something isn't right here. Ashley stares at me with her red eyes. If they continue with their curiosity, they will meet an evil entity that will take their lives. What you say doesn't sound very convincing, I immediately interrupted. The only evil entity here is you. Ashley shakes her head in denial. You're wrong. I am the good one. Then she said, looking into my eyes with a pure innocence in hers. Okay, so we're laughing. I can only laugh at that comment. It had to be a joke. After doing all that, you say you're good? Don't laugh, I'm only trying to protect you, replied Ashley, furious while waving her arms. She then crosses her arms and gives me an unpleased look. Do you expect me to believe that? I replied sarcastically. What she said made no sense, but somehow she seemed oddly convinced that it was the truth. She was surely a bit wrong in the head. But it's true, you have to believe me. This time she sounds really worried about me. I actually feel a little sorry for her. Ashley then stays silent, looking at me with puppy eyes. However, she soon recovers her proud attitude. If you want, hold my hand, I won't harm you, she suddenly says. I look carefully at her. She has a very arrogant face, as if it was a great honor to be able to touch her. You won't do anything strange? I asked distrustful, but after seeing her again, I do not think she was lying. Ashley nods, full of confidence. I promise you. I stare at her for a few seconds, making sure there isn't a trap. Okay, but why do you want me to hold your hand? I ask at the same time I extend my hand. Ashley opens her eyes, surprised after hearing my question, and then she stares at me with annoyance. Are you stupid? Obviously to guide you out of the forest, she said, just as she takes my hand in one quick move. I then find myself being dragged by this strange girl. But this is the opposite way from where the melodious voice comes. I said, looking back for a second. I felt really curious about who she was. You ignore that voice. It charms men to make them her victims. Think of it as a siren. Ashley explained in a bad mood, with her eyes always looking to the front. It seems she didn't get along well with whoever that person or entity was. Wouldn't you be the one who collects souls of fools? I asked without thinking. I seriously need more experience when dealing with a girl. If only I were more popular. Ashley stops suddenly. She then turns at me, showing me a furious face. You idiot, I already said I'm the good one. For a moment I thought she was going to hit me on the head, but fortunately she stopped before doing so or biting me again. Okay, I meekly responded as if I were a scolded child. But if you eat me, I will make sure to give you the worst indigestion of your life. You idiot, I don't eat humans, replied Ashley, ending with an arrogant snort. Okay, so 3:11 a.m. Several minutes passed since I started to walk hand in hand with Ashley. At the beginning, I did not trust her at all, but the more time passed, the easier it was to believe her. I hadn't noticed before. I hadn't noticed before how comfortable her hand is, soft and pleasant to the touch. I blush just thinking about it. Even if she is a witch, she's a girl too, right? And I sigh. Come on, Axel. Composure. With every step, the curse of the forest seemed to weaken. The atmosphere was less oppressive every minute until finally I was able to forget about that unpleasant feeling. Before I noticed, the darkness had returned to normal, feeling only empty. The rotten smell also had disappeared without a trace. Now I could really say I was in a common and ordinary forest, even boring. The heck? Okay, sorry, I just got like notifications. And now the stream is buffering. have to stop and start again, or what? There we go. Alright. But I could not be more grateful for that. Just a little more to get out, so let's keep moving. Then I set my sight on the back of Ashley, watching her walk in silence. She was completely focused on that simple thing. If you're the witch from the legend, why are you helping me? I suddenly asked, not thinking twice before it. I was really intrigued by that. Ashley stops and turns, looking at me with an angry face. Idiot, do you really think that all witches are evil? She was right, the general image of witches is not good, but it's not as if stereotypes were truthful. Then she closes her eyes, making an annoyed face. It's true that I had supernatural powers, but I never used them to do harm. Ashley lowers her sight and pauses. Suddenly she looks sad. My only sin was to be born in the time of the witch hunts. That's why I was condemned. That explains it well. I feel that I can trust she is good. But there's still one more question. And how did you end up becoming a cat? Ashley immediately blushes. She was so embarrassed that it was almost adorable. Almost. Well, before my execution, there was a cat watching in the distance. So I decided to transfer my soul to it. She explained, avoiding looking into my eyes. Of course, we now share the body we have. Like a deal. The cat will be happy as long as it has something to eat and a place to sleep. I try to provide her with all those needs. In return, she lets me stay in her body. As she talks, she is blushing shyly. I see, I think it's a fair deal. I reply with a sincere smile. The truth is that I found it a little funny. Turns out that she is both a girl and a cat. That answers some questions. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple of times. When she wants, she can be very cute. Too bad that happens so rarely. Not saying more, Ashley continues walking to the exit. This time I stay in silence. All that remains for me is to escape from this place. 3:15 a.m. Well, here we are, Ashley said just a few minutes after we talked. She isn't lying, I can see the end of the forest in the distance. I had to contain my desire to scream with joy at that moment. There must be 2 other humans close here. Your friends? Go with them and return home. I hope that nobody else comes tonight, Ashley said, giving me a subtle farewell, but strangely she has not let go of my hand. She looks deep into my eyes. Amazed, I notice the gentleness that reflects on them. Can you make me a promise? She suddenly said with an honest voice. It was no joke. What is it? I asked, full of curiosity. I don't know what I could do for a witch, but after helping me to escape, I think she deserves me to hear a request. In this legend, she then murmured with an air of sadness. I can't understand why she asked for something like this. I want you to help me keep people away. The legend only attracts more people, as in your case. I need to kill it, replacing the supernatural danger with a human danger. A human danger? So you want to scare them with ordinary dangers as thieves or ferocious animals? On second thought, there is logic in what you asked. If you remove the element of magic and only leave the danger, then exploring the forest is not worth the risk. Ashley nods and then looks into my eyes, blushing. Yes, exactly, she said, pleased. Okay, I'll do it. You can rely on me. I responded with determination. I wanted her to know how serious I was, that it was not a promise I would forget as soon as I got out of the forest. Thank you. She then closes her eyes momentarily and inflates her chest with pride. You aren't as stupid as I thought. I should have expected something like that. Hey, I told you not to talk ill of someone when they're in front of you. I complained angrily. This girl simply will never change. After seeing my reaction, Ashley cannot help but laugh. I'm sorry. It's the first time I've seen her so happy. That made me blush. Ashley looked unexpectedly adorable at that moment. My heart was nervously beating as if I was with a normal girl. Suddenly she stares at me and gets so close her face is less than an inch from mine. Again, she demonstrates not knowing what personal space is, but this time I don't know whether to be angry or thankful. Having her so close to a beautiful girl makes me very nervous. This is the farewell, she suddenly said. She then brings her lips to my cheek and gives me a tender kiss. Everything becomes white at that moment. Everything loses color. Everything is gone. Everything. 3:18 a.m. I'm outside of the forest. I have no idea how I made it here, but this is no illusion. I am bewildered, as if I had been sleepwalking. Axel! Axel! Suddenly I hear someone calling my name. But it's not any strange voice. It's the voices of my friends who are looking for me. Hey, over here! I shout without a second of hesitation, with a bit clumsiness because of my confusion. Soon they found me and impatiently run towards me. Where were you? The worry was killing us. Stephen said with a face that I don't remember having ever seen before. Before answering, I rubbed my forehead. Within the forest, I couldn't find the exit. Alfred was about to say something, but before that, I interrupted him. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was just lost. The important thing is that we're all safe. Yes, you're right. Hey, don't you feel that we are forgetting something? Alfred murmured at the same time he lowers his side pencil. Suddenly, a blurry image appears in my mind. It was white and bright, but I can't remember more. However, that weak memory awakes a strange feeling of nostalgia. It was as if I had lost something, but what could it be? Anyway, we should go home. This is going too far. Yeah. This is going too far for a test of courage. Alright. I said with no intention of spending one more minute in this forest. They both agree with me. With nothing else to say, we can only return home. By the way, you guys, we should write on that page to not go to the forest. Forget about the witches. Somebody might get lost there as it happened to me. It was a miracle that I came out alive with that beast lurking around. Before knowing it, my lips move. Why did I say that? I have no idea, but something inside inspired me to do so. To be honest, I have no memory of the beast I speak of. All I can remember is that it has red eyes and white fur, but nothing more. Then I remember something. I think it was a promise I made to wait. To whom had I made that promise? I think about it for a moment in silence, but in the end, I can't remember a thing. No matter, all I know is that I got out and I'll never come back here again. Yay, the end. So that was one version of the playthrough. And I think we have enough time for another. I'm not that tired yet, you guys. This freaking stream will play. Hold on. Hold on. The Wi-Fi on my phone's acting weird. Let me reconnect. There we go. Alright, well, that was a really good playthrough, you guys. I'm pretty sure no one's up this late. One watching, really? No, it says 2. Why? How come when I click on the thing it says 1? Alright, so who's ready to see the next part? Might as well since I'm here, right? Okay, so we read through the first part. Should I do it again in case someone missed it? I think I should skip ahead, because I'm pretty sure all you guys seen this. I should have made a save. So, Halloween, 3 friends walk into this forest that's cursed. Is there a skip button? I think there was a skip button. Okay, so they got transported through the white by the cat with the red eyes, and now Axel is trying to find his friends. So he's walking through the forest. Alright, so let's see. He's like, oh crap, what am I gonna do? I really screwed up. Frustration's building up. Fall into despair, there's no doubt. So he decides to keep walking through the forest. He thinks if he keeps walking, he'll find his way out. So let's continue here. Alright. He steps on an animal bone. Well, he thinks it's from an animal. That's what he chooses to believe. So then he shines his flashlight in that direction. And it's the white cat with the red eyes. That's the girl. So, in the ending that we got, we picked her up. But this time, let's ignore it. It's best to continue without waking her. That cat is dangerous. It's her fault that I ended up in this place and my friends are missing. I don't know what else that cat is capable of doing, so I decided it's better to leave it behind and continue walking. 2:37 a.m. I soon lost sight of the cat. Once more I found myself in the dark forest. Walking aimlessly, only moving forward, but it didn't seem like I was getting somewhere. Come here you'll be safe. I suddenly stopped. It's probably easy to see the disbelief on my face at that moment. It's that voice again. I whispered to myself with no one to listen to me. Shortly after I got away from the cat, a mysterious voice appeared in my mind. It's a feminine voice, sounds like a princess from a fairy tale, but I can't trust it. Am I really going crazy, or is it this forest that doesn't make any sense? I don't know. I don't know, but I don't like any of the two options. Don't be afraid. Come with me. I will help you. Every time the voice is heard more clearly, stronger and more often. She seems to be leading me somewhere. It does not inspire me with confidence, but between voice and staying here in this future forest that seems to have no end, I choose to follow it. So we follow the voice. Shortly after, I arrived to a clearing in the forest. At last, I can see the night sky. The full moon shines elegantly, surrounded by a blanket of darkness and stars. A beautiful image, but there's something strange in it. How weird, wasn't there a half moon tonight? I said to myself as I look at the moon and try to remember a vague memory in my mind. Anyway, it is not important. The moon will not come to save me. I lowered my sight. It was then that I noticed there was a cabin in the clearing. It was hidden under the shade of trees nearby, so I didn't see it before, I think. The cabin looks old and worn down, even depressing, but if I'm lucky, there may be someone there. Open the door. I'm waiting for you, my knight. Suddenly I hear the voice again. It was in this cabin, no doubt. Somehow her voice sounds different this time. It has an inexplicable kindness. I feel as if I were a man returning home to see his wife. After thinking about it for a moment, I can't help but laugh at myself. How silly, I must really be losing my mind. This is a joke, hiding my anxiety with humor. In any case, there's nothing else for me to do than to open the door. However, I can't stop thinking that I'm forgetting something. My hand then slowly opens the door of the cabin. What awaits me there is something that leaves me perplexed. The bodies of 5 missing people were hanging as if they were puppets, with empty eyes, but all of them are facing me. And between them is a woman with a big smile. I opened my eyes wide with amazement, and my lips got dry. Finally, I remembered what I was forgetting when it was too late. "Thank you for saving me, by giving me your life," said the voice with an indescribable love, but announcing my horrible destiny. It's true, Matthew disappeared in the clearing without any trace. I have no breath to speak. I just know that we can add someone more to the list. Oh. And who's the other girl in the picture? That's what I want to know. Let's try again. Okay, so let's skip past all this. Alright. So this time we're going to pick up the cat, and then there's one more option that I have. So, do we escape from the cat, or do we confront the cat? Let's try confront. Okay, and then there's one more option. What happens if we do this? And what's in doubt, just as fast as it hurts, at least as possible. Everything ends tonight. Finally, people from this town will be able to live in peace without fearing that cursed cat will make anyone else disappear. Killing a living creature is easy. The only thing I have to do is grab her neck and twist it. You twist it with all your strength till you hear a snap as if it were a branch. After that, she will not move anymore. You don't have to think, just act. In silence, I observed how many hands moved to her neck to carry out my plans. I don't even want to imagine what my expression looks like at this moment. It must be terrifying. My concentration must be eerie for anyone who could see me, even repugnant. The cat does not resist. Fearful, she does nothing more than tremble. Ignorant of what would happen to her, but knowing that I have no good intentions, I'm ready to apply force. So we kill the cat, but suddenly she scratches my face with a quick and precise attack. Ugh. Immediately I let go of her while crying in agony, covering my face with both hands. I deserve that despite pain, blah blah blah. Even whether or not she only tried to defend her life. When the pain recedes, I look down only to find that the cat is on the ground, showing me her fangs and with aggressive posture just like before I called her. What followed was something that I would have never even imagined. Okay. So we meet her again. Suddenly she speaks to me. Sorry, you wanted to take my life, but I'll take yours instead. That is the best choice I can make tonight, she said ruefully. I hear no hatred in this voice. My life? Are you going to kill me? I asked, still confused by the shock. It has to be a joke. A cat is going to kill me. I must be dreaming. There is no other explanation for it. Suddenly, my hands, feet, and fingers, my heart, they all feel an intense cold. In just an instant, all the war of my body was still. Shortly after, I fall down on the ground, weak as if it were a puppet with its strings cut. My vision quickly became clouded and dark. My death is real. The last thing I see disappearing is the red in the eyes of the girl shining with a feeling of repentance. And we get another bad ending. Okay. One more pattern here. Some of our steps combined with that of the occasional blah 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 blah. Okay. Skip past all this mess. So we're in the forest again. Pick up the cat. Skip past. Escape from the cat. Best for me to escape from this cursed cat. I made a mistake by bringing her with me. That cat only brings problems. I don't feel very sure about that voice, but perhaps it can guide me to the exit. It sounds kind, and I certainly don't want to stay with this animal. With that in mind, I try to move forward, but the cat blocks my path. No matter how hard I try, she moves faster than me, showing me her claws and fangs furiously as if preparing to attack me. My instinct tells me that it would be better to not go one step further. I don't know what she can do, but that cat is dangerous. Suddenly the cat begins to meow thunderously as if making my death. My heart skips a beat with each of them as if I were hearing a wild beast roar furiously. My breathing becomes agitated. Those meows are wrecking my nerves. I have no other way out. I don't care about the voice anymore. All I want is to lose that cat from sight. It's not wasting a second more. I start running in the opposite direction, begging she was not following me. I run through the forest, not looking back, forgetting about everything except my desire to get away from her. I have no idea where I'm going or how long it's been since I started to run, but I don't care. My lungs burn and my heart beats anxiously, begging for a rest, but I cannot give myself that look. Stronger than the pleas of the rest of my body are the pleas of my soul, crying, terrified, and asking me to continue running until I can't anymore. Sometimes I hear the strange voice again sounding in my head. Whenever it happens, the echo of the cat's meows are heard throughout the forest, freezing my blood again, reminding me that I cannot stop. I feel sorry for the voice, but I can't answer your call. I'm so desperate that more than 3 times I've fallen flat to the ground. Many more times hurt with branches of trees, but that pain doesn't stop me. I'll keep running until my legs can't go one single step further. 2:57 a.m. I don't know for how long I've been running, but for some minutes I haven't heard any of them, neither the voice nor the meows. Much to my relief, finally I stop, resting my hands and knees on feeling verge of faint. I breathe using my mouth, trying to fill my lungs, which has much air as I can. While my legs hurt as if they had been hammered mercilessly, this pain does not bother me because I finally feel safe. Suddenly I look up only to find something that fills me with joy. I see the exit of the forest. I did. I escaped this demonic forest. I didn't become another victim of the disappearances. Just thinking about it almost brings tears to my eyes. So, he hears his friends calling my name, but there isn't any strange voice. Friends, hey, over here. Soon they find me. Where were you? Where answering, I take a deep breath. Inside the forest, I couldn't find the exit. That's strange. After that hiss, we both woke up out of the woods. Thought that you'd be close, but we couldn't find you anywhere, explained Alfred, who also looked at me with great relief on his face. You didn't try to find me in the forest? I said, feeling a little annoyed because they didn't go to save me as great friends. Instantly, both Stephen and Alfred shook their heads in denial. I didn't want to go back in, Alfred said, almost eating nails from imagining it. Me neither after seeing that demonic cat, no. Also, we had hopes that you would be outside just as we were. I sigh after hearing them, but I soon forget my annoyance. Oh, I really can't blame you. The most important thing is that we are all safe. Yes, but that was somewhat terrifying, confessed Stephen with a pale face. After that roar, I didn't know what was going to become of us. I was about to tell them about all I had to go through, but just before saying a word, I changed my mind. They didn't need to know. The important thing is that we escaped and nobody got hurt. Well, I think we've had enough of this test of courage. We should get back home, I said, looking horribly tired. Without hesitation, both of them responded with a nod. After that, everyone started to walk back home without looking back. Despite everything, I have to say that our main goal was fulfilled. We had a memorable night. The legend is true now, I know it. Okay. So what's extra here? Soundtrack, website, endings. Unknown aggressor, surviving cat's attack. All the rest of these are locked. Alright. Oh. Let's try and unlock them, I guess. I think there's still a few more combinations we can make. Let's see. So we skip past all this. So, we ignore the cat. Dang it. Okay. So we pick up the cat. We confront the cat. Just keep the cat captured. And should I trust in her? Let's doubt. Despite what she says and how cute she is, I cannot trust in her words. This cat is the reason why I'm here, so I decide to ignore it and continue my journey. Also, I cannot know if the girl's voice is truly evil, as she says. It could be the other way. Without saying more, I start to walk in the opposite direction, passing beside her without even looking at her. It was very rude of me, but I must not forget who I'm dealing with. Wait, where are you going? Ashley said with a face of disbelief. I don't blame her. Don't go that way, it's dangerous. Stop. I said stop. Ashley begins to cry at me to stop, but my decision is already made. I don't even look back. Soon I can't hear her anymore. I know she is still close, but it seems she has given up on me. The doubt why she did not use her magic enters my mind. I guess I wouldn't understand no matter how much I thought about it. With each minute that passes, the air becomes more heavy and nauseating. I cover my nose with my mouth with one hand. If I could, I would stop breathing this rotten air. But that doesn't stop me from moving forward. After all, this must be one of the dirty tricks used by Ashley to scare away others. After all this, she calls herself good. I can't believe it. Now all my hope lies with the voice. She must be the one who can save me. Here you are going well. 311. I don't know if it's been hours or only minutes since I became separated from Ashley. I lost notion of time when suddenly I came to a clearing in the forest that lets see a nice sky, full moonshine, surrounded by blankets, stars. Beautiful image, but there's something strange in it. Does that happen? I said to myself, look at the moon and try to remember a vague memory in my mind. Anyway, it's not important. The moon will not come to save me. Notice there's a cabin sitting under the shade of trees nearby, so I didn't see it before. I think The cabin looks old, worn down, and even depressing, but if I'm lucky, there may be someone there. Not wasting one more second outside the error. Open the door slowly, apparently it is empty. How weird. I murmured to myself, confused. Definitely the voice came from this place, I'm sure of it. I rubbed my forehead with anxiety and then sighed. It's still very early to get impatient. I should explore the cabin. I slowly walk around the place, taking each step carefully. It's old and neglected. There are cobwebs everywhere, as if it hadn't been cleaned in years. The air inside is musty. Curiously, the cabin appears to have none of the modern commodities, telephone, electricity, water pipes. The impression I get is that it is even older than it appears, something that sounds impossible. I continue exploring until finally I find in one of the rooms what I wanted. Lying peacefully in the bed, there is a girl sleeping, with blonde hair and clothes as black as the feathers of a raven. With just one look, I can say that she is very beautiful. Raven Knight, you have finally arrived. She suddenly said, asleep. There's no mistake, she is the source of that voice. She is asleep but knows of my presence in some strange way. Yes, I'm here. I said, acting with fake courage, not knowing why. I guess I wanted to look strong for this girl despite me being completely helpless. It is then she opens her eyes slowly, even with laziness. They are very beautiful blue eyes. She looks at me closely for a couple of seconds, staring at my face with curiosity until unexpectedly a tear springs from her blue eye, gently falling down her cheek. Thank you for coming. I was very scared. She suddenly pounces me, giving me a tight hug full of affection as if we had not seen each other in years. I was very afraid. Everything is terrifying here. What the hell? Oh. Alright, back to this. She said while trembling, with her face pressed against my chest. She looks really scared, but who wouldn't? After all that evil cat has done. I won't forgive her for frightening a girl as cute as her. Although it is partly thanks to I can find her. In the end, there's a good to see in the bad. Don't worry, miss. I will help you get out of here, I said, trying to comfort her, with a false attitude of courage while placing my arms around her, returning the hug. She has an elegant and beautiful figure, and soft body, pleasant to the touch. Girl, I can't. I don't have any more strength. Replied the girl, almost lamenting herself for that. She doesn't break the hug, and I couldn't be any more thankful for that. I could carry you on my back so we can leave this forest, I offered as I caressed her head. Her golden hair is silky and exquisite to the touch. To be honest, I could not resist. Then the girl finally pulls away from me. She stays at the distance of just one step, staring at my eyes with shyness. With her hands on her chest, her cheeks have a cute blush. I think you don't understand. I'm a spirit that lives in this forest, she explained with a gentle voice. Before I could materialize myself, since people came to visit me, and the joy they felt gave me energy. I spent many pleasant times with them. Then the girl looks down. She seems to recall something sad. Till one day when the evil cat began to scare everyone. Suddenly I began to feel weak, and well, now I'm like this because of her. She blinks after saying that. She looks fragile, as if she were going to cry at any moment. I look into her blue eyes, feeling pity for her. Dang cat, how can you do that to such a cute girl? And how can I help you if you cannot materialize? I asked with curiosity. The girl suddenly deviates her gaze, avoiding my eyes. She blushes and shyly plays with her fingers for a moment before looking me in the face. I think that if you kiss me, I could regain some of my strength. I can't believe it. My heart almost stops when I hear it. Just a kiss would be enough? I was struggling not to sound like a pervert. Entering this forest was the worst decision of my life, but going after the voice turned out to be the best. Yes, because your feelings will be transmitted to me. The girl said at the same time she closes her eyes and nods. The look in her eyes silently begs me to do it, staring at me with an innocence that is simply adorable. After hearing her proposal, I start to think about my current situation. As if she were an evil entity, perhaps she would ask me for a more... I don't know what that word means. Things. After giving her blood to give... As giving her blood to give her my soul or make a donation on PayPal. The third being clearly the worst. But this poor soul just asked for a kiss. She has been alone all this time. If I kiss her, she will have enough strength to escape. No doubt, it seems an obvious choice to kiss such a cute girl as Saber. Everything sounds too sweet all suddenly, right? I don't remember my luck being this good. Soon I remember what the cat said. Not wanting to do it, doubt appears in my mind. Should I kiss her? Dang it, I should have made a save there. Let's do it and see what happens. Yes, I shouldn't, no doubt. Pure soul needs my help. Plus, whining the favor of a beautiful girl has always is a good thing in my book. Okay, I'll kiss you so we can escape, I said, acting with bravery as if a knight of some tale. Thank you, definitely you're my knight in silver armor, she said with a radiant smile. Don't say it so openly, you're making me blush. I replied at the same time. I scratched my head ashamed. My heart beats nervously just from imagining it. Okay, how lucky am I? The girl then lowers her sight with a shy face. Excuse me, but I always say what I think. She then returns her sight to my eyes, seeing me tenderly. Every time I am more surprised of how adorable she is. Nothing like that annoying cat. I take a deep breath in preparation, showing resolve in my eyes. The girl then nods and closes her eyes, preparing blah blah blah. She's sweetly blushing. Can't believe my fortune's fairy tale. I near my lips to hers. You're soft but strangely cold, as if you were kissing an ice flower. But I don't care, the feeling inside of me is warm. Blah blah blah. And then you're dead. As if someone has stabbed a sword made of ice into my back. Without even thinking, I break the kisses and pull away from her. What did you do? What's going on? I feel so cold. I feel heavy and weak. I can barely stop staying. There is no response. Before she could talk, suddenly something attacks us with such power that it destroys part of the cabin, opening a large hole that connects to the outside. I can't even begin to imagine what it was. It was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job. Immediately looked for a culprit, finding it was not the girl in black, but someone else. Curses, too late, Ashley said, biting her lower lip in anguish. You really are an idiot. Do you know what you've done? She then said, looking at me with burning anger. This time she is not playing. She was really angry with me. What? Suddenly said the girl in black with a malicious smile. Is it that you can't stand knowing I am now stronger than you? She throws a smug look at Ashley. Maybe you are just jealous that men prefer me over you. But of course, considering how annoying you are. Ashley bites her lips with anxiety. Curses, I didn't think I would have to use this, but if I do nothing, everything will be lost. Just saying that, she sets her eyes on me. I'm sorry for what I'm going to do, but since you didn't listen to me, I have no other choice. Suddenly, Ashley approaches me as fast as a blink of an eye. I tried to move me, but I don't have the strength to do it. I can only stay standing motionless, watching as she suddenly plants a kiss on my lips. Don't worry, you won't feel pain, Ashley said when our lips parted. You don't understand what it means, but soon something happens to me. I feel how the little energy left in me goes extinct. The color of my skin becomes pale, my breathing suddenly stops, I feel very tired and I can barely see past my nose. With this we are on equal terms. I hope this is enough energy, Ashley said while looking with resolve in her red eyes at the girl in black, who at all times maintains a proud smile. It was the last thing I saw before my eyelids closed, being wrapped by an icy darkness. It's okay, I'm just falling asleep. Soon I'll wake up in my bed to have another boring and ordinary day. It's okay. It's And we died again. Fantastic, guys. Okay, let's see here. So, there's 2 more endings we can get. Oh, let's get them. I'm gonna beat this game to the fullest, my friends. Or whoever's watching. Probably just me and whoever else. Okay, let's get past all this mess. I'm definitely gonna come back to this game on Halloween. So what we do? We pick up the cat. Confront the cat. Just keep her captured. Doubt. So now we skip ahead to the cabin. Don't do it. Despite how adorable the girl is, there's something about her explanation that doesn't sound right at all. Everything seems too convenient to be true. It is impossible for luck to so suddenly have improved. While I think about it, she unexpectedly gets closer to me, then looks at me with puppy eyes so adorable they could charm anyone. Aren't you going to do it? She asked with innocence. I don't know what to do in this situation. Wait, before we do that, we haven't even properly introduced ourselves, I said, clearly nervous. I can feel my heart beating anxiously as the girl stares at me. She blinks confused and then smiles sweetly. My name is Lillian. She doesn't look angry in the least. This girl definitely has something special. My name is Axel, I said in a robotic voice, however, it doesn't seem to bother her. I show her a nervous smile. I have to say something else to stop her, but nothing comes to mind. Without any shyness, she gets closer and has no problem in taking the initiative. Her eyes suddenly become naughty, something in them makes my blood warm. So, it's a pleasure, Axel. I very much appreciate your help. Okay, so all that stuff happens. Okay, however, the sweetness soon dies, being replaced with stabbing pains. If someone stabbed a sword, ran ice into my back. Without even thinking, I break the kiss, pull away from her. What did you do? I asked, looking incredulously at the girl. What was going on? I felt so cold, as if someone had stolen half the heat from my body. I also feel heavy as stone, but there was no answer. Before she could talk, something attacks us. Such power destroys the cabin. It would be a large hole. Can you begin to imagine what that was? A wrecking ball, strong enough to push me away from. She seemed equally surprised as me. I immediately get up and look for the culprit. The answer surprised me. You really are an idiot. What are you doing? Ashley said, fury. Suddenly she takes my hand with superhuman strength. Vastly superior to what her thin appearance would suggest, she dragged me away from the cabin as if kidnapping me. I couldn't do anything to stop her. 323. Just a few minutes, we got very far away from the cabin. How quickly Ashley can run impressed me. She's definitely not human. She finally lets me free. My hand was red and hurt from how strong her grip was, but fortunately I feel better from. Just my body recovered its heat and energy. Why the heck did you do that? I ask immediately with anger. Who does this cat think she is doing something like this? I should be the one asking that. Ashley replied, looking me in the eyes with contempt. Because of you, she has already recovered most of her power. She then explains Aang with a face of rejection during her look from my eyes. She was overreacting, maybe? What are you talking about? She only wants to be free from you. So with annoyance, I simply couldn't believe her. Neither of the two girls in this forest seemed trustworthy. That is misfortune considering how beautiful they are. You really are an idiot, Ashley said, looking at me with her red eyes full of contempt. Yes, she wants to be free to fulfill her revenge. Can't you understand that? The only one that I don't understand here is you. My patience is ended long ago. I'm not in the mood for a scolding. Stupid human to be so easily seduced by her. All men are equal. None can think with the right head. Ashley folds her arm and exclaims with annoyance while looking at me as if I were a spoiled child. Because of your reckless action, we are in serious trouble. Ashley's eyes frustrated. If you only had believed me, this wouldn't be happening. What are you talking about? She must be freed since she is suffering. I said without hesitation. I cannot forget the sweet words of that girl. Suddenly, Ashley gives me a piercing look sharp as a knife. Why do you believe her story? She is deceiving you, idiot. That's what she wants you to believe. And how do you know that? I asked, being suspicious. I do not like this girl. She is really too bossy and nagging. You idiot. Didn't you notice when she was absorbing your vital energy? Ashley said, tearing down in a second all of my doubt and resistance with a look of anger in her red eyes. Yes, that's what she was doing, absorbing you just like she did in the past with those 5 unfortunate men, she explained while staring at me. The latest victim was 20 years ago. Since that day, I promised that no lady else would get close to her. Hearing that caught my attention immediately. And why did you do that? Ashley looked distraught after speaking of the death of that man. I wonder if she felt guilty for that. If she gets her hands on one more victim, she will fully recover her powers. And once she achieves it, she will begin her revenge for what your ancestors did to her. Worst of all is that with the energy you have given her, she is now able to leave this forest and search for a last victim. Is that the truth? I asked incredulously. I didn't like the sound of it. If it's true, we could be in big trouble, not only me, but everyone. Ashley bites her lips with anxiety. Yes, what's worse is that I have no energy to deal with her. After saying that, she looks at me in anger. Since a certain group of idiots decided to come here for God knows what, I can't respond to that. I only feel guilty. I could get rid of your friends, but for some reason I couldn't with you. You have a stronger magical power than normal, Ashley explains, aiming with a sigh of frustration. What did you do with my friends? I asked firmly without even hesitating. Thinking that they could be wounded gave me force, but perhaps I was just overreacting. Don't worry, they are safe. I only made them leave from the forest. Ashley replied, folding her arms, then she sighs. But creating the illusions and getting them out left me very weakened. Is that why you were lying on the ground when I found you? I said, recalling that moment she was wounded and unconscious. Couldn't help but feel sorry for her at that time. Yes, but also it didn't help that you had a fight with the innocent princess you saw before. She looks back at me unpleased, but this time just for a moment. After saying that, we both remained quiet, allowing silence to surround us. It's been a while since I last heard the voice calling me. I think that I ceased being useful to William, as Ashley said. Suddenly, Ashley snaps her fingers. Wait, there's still a chance, she said, full of energy. There's a glimmer of hope in her eyes. Then she sets her sight on me. Hear me well, this is the only way to defeat her. Ashley speaks with her usual arrogance, but I notice a slight blush. What is it? I was curious to hear her idea. Do you remember what she asked you to do to help her regain power? Ashley asks, blushing once more, then she coughs a few times to clear her throat. Yeah, she told me to kiss her. I reply without thinking about it. But shortly after I realize what I'm saying. Wait, you want me to kiss you too? I ask in uncertainty, but I don't know if I should feel lucky or used, to be honest. You idiot, it's not that I want a kiss from you. Ashley roared, then she diverts her sight away from my eyes, making a snort of rejection. She said it's the only way to achieve this. Besides, what she did was not kissing you, it was stealing your life energy. What she did was stealing my vital energy with a kiss. How ironic. I said sarcastically. The memory was still fresh. Not for a small detail of the theft of vital energy, it would have been a great kiss. Ashley at that time seemed to shiver. And she looks at me furious. It seems your brain does not understand the complexity of the issue. I'm not planning to steal your life energy. My intention is to get energy from your feelings of love. After saying that, she looks away embarrassed. Dad, you're right. Something here sounds completely wrong. Wait, what are you trying to say? Ashley coughs twice to clear her throat. If your feelings for me are full of love, I can regain my energy, she said, unable to look me in the eyes. Her face is red as an apple. This has to be a joke. That's impossible. How can I feel love for someone I've just met? I wouldn't say this to anyone. Please help me, insignificant human, she said with forced arrogance. At the same time, she looks at me with her eyes that I should be thankful. The way in which she asks is not very correct, honestly, but she did her best effort to do so. That can be seen in plain sight. However, should I trust her word? She's been causing me many problems tonight. I was even chased, attacked, and kidnapped by her. Then should I? Let's believe and help her. I can't ignore her petition. I know that she has not been the kind of this girl, but somehow I think she's telling the truth. Okay, I'm going to help you. But tell me, what should I do? At the same time, I look at her red eyes with determination. Ashley nods a couple of times. She seems pleased with my answer. It's simple, just share your feelings of love towards me. She now responds with more confidence. Hopefully this game doesn't take a weird turn. That's what I'm hoping. Alright, I can't help but sigh. If you're hearing it, something here is wrong. I'm sorry, but I cannot do that. Well, we just met each other. I do feel some empathy for you, but it wouldn't be right to call it love. I explained with frustration in my face. She asked too much from me. Ashley then places a hand against her lips, making a pensive gesture. I see. It is a feeling that cannot be achieved in a single day. Of course, not silly cat. Have you ever been in love? Well, there is one alternative, but I don't want to use it because it would do you harm. I blinked confused after hearing her. What is the alternative? I asked while staring at her face. To suck your vitality as Lillian did, Ashley explains with a very serious look. She then diverts her gaze, feeling disgust at this simple idea. But I'm not going to do it. If I remove the vital energy you have left, you will die. Certainly I do not want that. And if you don't have enough energy to fight, what will you do? This is not looking good. If you don't have those feelings for me, there is not much that can be done, replied Ashley, ending with a sigh of annoyance. Anyway, I will go and face her, even if I have to give my life in the fight, she says with so much simplicity that it seems she doesn't care for her own life. Wait, is there really nothing I could do to help you? I interrupted immediately. I could not let her just go like that. At least I'd do something, however small that may be. How could you help me? The look Ashley gave me called me an idiot without saying a word. While we're on the same team, I think that something simply will never change. I stay silent for a moment, looking down while I think on a solution. Ashley stares at me impatient. I don't feel love towards you, but once I felt it for someone else. I could try to remember those feelings so that you can use them as energy. Ashley thinks deeply for a moment. I guess it's worth a try, she said, not sounding very convinced, but it was certainly better than nothing. After that, the two of us stared at each other's eyes for a couple of seconds without saying a word, then we suddenly diverted our looks at the same time, embarrassed. We were acting like kids. Are you ready? Ashley asked almost lovingly. See, it's easy to notice that she was taking this seriously. I nod. Yes, whenever you want, we can start. I replied just before closing my eyes and trying with all my heart to revive that image. Suddenly, Ashley holds my hands, and even with my eyes closed, I can feel her presence near. That makes me somewhat nervous, but I have to relax. I exhale, letting my concerns go out with my breath. Her hand softly caress mine, blah blah blah. Then I start to remember something that happened many years in the past. When I was young, every summer I went to my grandparents' house to visit them. I didn't like it because they had nothing fun there. Only an old TV and dusty books that I had no interest in reading. However, whenever I went there, I could see her. A girl with brown long hair who always had a cute dress. When I saw her for the first time, I could feel a strange fascination for her fragile and inexplicable. I watched her. This white light, man, it's on my eyes. I watched her at a distance without knowing what this feeling was. I only knew that something in her called me. It was more than just beautiful. Her beauty was something with many layers, with many facets. Yeah. Oh. Her gestures, her expressions, her way of playing, they were all beautiful. Finally, one day I had the courage to ask her to play together. Without even thinking about it, she told me yes. All afternoon we spent playing till it inevitably began to get dark. She was a simple girl and enjoyed playing as anyone else, but I still could not remove my eyes from her. When the day ended, she said goodbye to me with a radiant smile. I had forgotten it, how beautiful it was, how astonished I was after seeing it. After that day, I never got to see her again. Last thing I knew, her family moved to another country. I don't know if that was predestined love or just my inexperienced feelings confused with something new. But without a doubt, it was beautiful. I do not want to forget it again, never again. Unexpectedly, I feel Ashley giving me a shy kiss on the lips. It was... Oh my god, what are these big words? It was ephemeral, only lasted enough to feel it, to know that it was real. But at the same time, that shyness gave it a special beauty. It was a sweet kiss, there are no more words to describe it. I opened my eyes, finding Ashley one step away from me, completely blushing and looking away from me. She is silent, but doesn't look angry in the least. Her red eyes are gentle, although embarrassed. Are you alright? I asked with kindness while I look at her. My heart is calmed quickly after the kiss. I don't show it, but somehow I feel liberated, lighter. Ashley turns her head to look me in the eyes. Yes, thank you, she said with shyness. However, she then breathes deep and magically recovers her proud attitude. I believe that this will be enough to stop her. The plan was a success. I'm really pleased. It's fantastic to hear. Ashley closed her eyes and nods a couple of times. If she is not scolding, I must confess that she is very cute. Anyway, we can't wait any longer. Every second we talk, Lily must be using it to plan her revenge. We have to go now and stop her. Ashley explains, acting with complete seriousness. Our little break had ended. Yes, let's go. It's my short response, overflowing with determination. There's no more to say. 3:40 a.m. The way back to the cabin feels short this time. Before I knew it, it was in front of my eyes. Lillian was outside next to the door. She was waiting for us. "Brave night, I see you finally came," she said with a confident smile. Her attitude is very different from the first time I saw her. Just from looking at her, I'm sure of it. She's not any innocent soul. "It's a shame to see you with that woman. I had hopes for you. Axel won't be fooled by you again," Ashra replied, talking in my place. At that moment, I see Lillian make a grimace of disgust. But soon she recovers her look of confidence. And we get another thing. Sorry guys, I keep getting notifications on my phone. I have no idea who I was watching. 2 people. Me and me. Probably. I wanted Axel to be my companion since he kindly came to rescue me. But oh well, it's not important. I already got enough energy from him. With that alone, I have surpassed you. Finally, I will be able to get rid of you, Ashley, said Lillian, pronouncing her name with a mocking tone while giving us a malicious smile. Her victory was in the palm of her hand. Ashley instantly roars furious. "We won't know until you try it." After saying that, she crosses her arms with pride. "Once I beat you, nothing shall stop me from completing my revenge." "Why do you want to do that? It's been far too long. The people who hurt you are already gone. And not even the memory of the crime committed here exists anymore. It's just a village of innocent people." "You're right, but someone has to suffer," responded Lillian without hesitation, no doubting a single moment, leaving me completely cold. After seeing my reaction to her answer, she directed an evil smile right at me as if her words meant nothing. That makes me angry. "And what do you win by doing that?" I yelled at the same time I closed my hands into fist. I simply couldn't accept it. It was too much. I just want them to suffer like I did. If I don't make them suffer, then who will? Who will be the carrier of this hate that every day eats at me from inside like parasites which sicken me and deform me? Lillian pauses. "It is unfair that I continue to suffer while they are innocent." Lillian then speaks out. At the same time, she hits her chest, showing how much that meant for her. "This is more than pain. It is the proof of my existence." She pauses and exhales, calming herself. "Anyway, enough with speeches. I will end you and then bring my revenge to the townspeople." And without saying much more, the battle between the two began. It was something that my mind could not comprehend. A show of power and magic that deformed reality itself. Ashley repeatedly attacks by firing a strange, translucent power as if hot air. Just from seeing it, I know that it has enough strength to knock down a house. But Lillian doesn't even blink. She calmly moves a hand, creating a barrier that reflects her attacks each time. Increasingly, it was Ashley who was most active. I mean, interestingly. God. Okay, she attacked incessantly from many different angles. Lillian stays still, reflecting her attacks and fighting back, always with a smile on her face. After seeing that those attacks will not have effect, Ashley changes strategy. She transforms herself into an imaginary white beast and charges against Lillian. However, Lillian transforms her body just like her into an unknown dark being and resists her attack. Ashley regains human form, making a grimace of disgust. Both had wounds after this confrontation, but then, before my eyes, I see how they placed their hands on their wounds and healed them magically. Apparently the two had the same powers, the only thing different was their personalities. There are simply no words to describe it, at least my mind was not able to find them. I only know that during the fight, neither of the two seemed to have an advantage over the other. Everything indicated it was an even match. On several occasions I beheld bright and colorful lights, superhuman abilities in multiplication of body, teleportation, healing transformation, and many other powers that seemed to come out of a fairy tale. The combat seems to last forever. Every second, every attack and defense were loaded with so much tension and emotion that time had simply disappeared from me. The only thing that captured my attention was seeing the two girls fighting in such a fantastic way. Finally, after an unknown time, both fall. On the ground bloody, they look into each other's eyes. The blue eyes beheld the red ones, and vice versa. Both then smile. Ashley proudly, Lillian with irony, seeing that the two were anticipating that end. "You did very well, I didn't expect it," Lillian said with honesty. "You doubted me, stupid girl?" Ashley replied with arrogance, even though her lips were stained with blood. Lillian then shows us a smile full of malice. "You have always been like that, even a mutual death you consider a victory. You are really an idiot. You should be more selfish." It's strange, but she does not sound angry in the least. "You may be right, but all I wanted was to stop you," replied Ashley, proud of herself. There was not a hint of regret in her words. "Okay, I accept my defeat. But at least in these last moments of my life, I want to be in peace with you. Is that okay?" Lillian responded with a friendly smile. "To be honest, I was going to say the same thing." Ashley ends with an ironic smile. Suddenly watched them both as they talk, feeling a strange fascination mixed with an unmistakable feeling of sadness. "I just met them this evening, but somehow it pains me to see them, as that somehow I formed a bond with them. It's then that I see them slowly start to disappear. Suddenly the two turn their eyes to me, giving me one last smile. Goodbye, Noble Knight. I confess I enjoyed kissing you. It wasn't all an act." Lillian said, looking at me with a tenderness that breaks my heart. Ashley says, "Thank you, Ashley." I can't help but feel nostalgia at that moment. I knew this was going to be our last goodbye. Even if I didn't want to admit it, that was her fate. Is it alright for it to end like this? Don't worry, everything will be fine now. Finally, my reason for existing has been fulfilled. I have no regrets. And this is our goodbye. Yes. Suddenly she recovers her proud attitude. However, this time was different. She was happy, really happy. "It was a pleasure to meet you, stupid human," Ashley said with the arrogance of always, but now instead of anger, it made me feel like I was about to cry. "It was fun to meet you," she said, the two surprisingly in unison. Those were their last words. Then they disappeared, dispersed in the form of particles of light, as if small fireflies were escaping their bodies with a beautiful but depressing green color. Without thinking, I ran towards them. Even if I couldn't do anything, I wanted to touch them one last time. But the only thing my hands were able to reach are their particles of light. Slip out from between my fingers as if they were water. I then see the light rise higher and higher until it disappears in the night sky. I did it. I'm a hero. I'm the one who finally broke the curse. Now no one else will be trapped by it. But then, why do I have this face that looks as if it wants to cry but has no tears? Why do I feel so terribly bad? Life is more than just victories or defeats. That night, I learned it in the best way. 4 a.m. Finally got out of the forest and it was almost morning. As His friends are calling someone. I hear someone calling my name, but it isn't a strange voice. It's the voice my friends are looking. Hey, over here, I shout without hesitation, with a bit of clumsiness and blah blah blah. They found me and impatiently run towards me. Where were you? The worry was killing us, Steven said with a face I don't remember anything. Before answering, I rubbed my forehead. I couldn't find the forest's exit. Alfred was about to say something, but before that, I interrupted him. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was just lost. The important thing is that we were all safe. Yes, you were right. I knew that they wouldn't believe my story if I told them, so I didn't bother to do so. It's so sudden as it happened the night left behind and replaced by boring days, almost identical days. But at least I had achieved our goal. I had a night worthy of remembering. 9 a.m. Does that say November? November 15th. Several days passed since then. Suddenly I see a cat walk by. Ashley? I asked without even thinking. She turns to look at me confused, but of course she could not be who I spoke of. The cat seemed oddly friendly with humans. She observes me with shyness but doesn't growl at me. Not much thought, I decided to adopt her, maybe in hopes Ashley would come back someday, even if that was an impossible desire. Having this cute cat will make me remember Ashley forever. It might have been just a night, but it was an experience I would never forget. I hold the cat in my hands. She actually looks happy for having a new owner. Seeing her like that makes me smile. Without a doubt, you will be good company. Okay. One more ending to go. Oh, we actually got credits this time. And I cannot skip them. Wow. Thanks for playing. Oh. One more ending. Alright. Let's get our last ending. So we do this one. Sorry, I can't believe in what you say. I said suddenly with a voice more serious than before. It's no joke, I feel bad for saying, but it's how I really feel. You attacked me and my friends, why should I help you? The face Ashley makes says it all. She simply cannot believe it. But, she murmured with disbelief reflecting on her red eyes. She seemed hurt, but there was no turning back. I'm sorry, but this is my decision, I said, putting an end to the conversation. Goodbye. I then added, starting to walk back to the cabin. Okay, go. Just go back to her. Ashley suddenly said, furious. Truth is, I can't blame her. I hope you don't regret it later. Not saying more, I distanced myself from her one step at a time. Before losing sight of her, I take a look back. She is on her knees facing towards the ground. I feel sorry for her, but I already made my decision. I wonder how Lillian is doing. I hope she's well since we were attacked by Ashley for no reason. No doubt I felt something when I kissed her, but perhaps there is more behind it than what I heard from Ashley. I should go talk to her. 3:35. Yeah. Finally, I'm here. Again, the image of the old cabin stands in front of my eyes. I sigh, doubting for a second, but I have to be strong. Arming myself with courage, I go toward the cabin and prepare to knock on the door. But just at that moment, somewhere something stops me. Axel. Before I know it, Lily opens the door, gives me a warm hug, excited to see me back. It seems that she heard my footsteps as I approached. Perhaps she has some power of observation. Either way, it doesn't matter. She is here and seems happy to see me. Ready tonight, you are back safe and sound. Lily said while looking at me in the eye of tenderness, then giving me a sweet smile. Seems impossible she could do something as evil as Ashley said. Yes, it seems so. I murmured without much emotion. I was more than confused. No matter what I do, something always seemed to be wrong. Don't worry about me, I'm much better now thanks to the help you gave me. It ends with a sweet smile. However, now I should reward you for coming back to my side. The last thing she says calls my attention instantly. Reward me? I repeated inquisitively. What kind of reward can she be talking about? Of course, since you managed to escape from the claws of that horrible Ashley and you've shown loyalty to me, that is why you will have your reward. After saying that, Lillian's eyes turned. Nolly, she looks in my eyes with a playful smile. Suddenly approaches her face close to mine. I can smell her feminine scent. Before, there wasn't any, since she had yet to truly materialize. Close your eyes and you will receive your reward. Lillian says those words very gently. Something charming in her voice, I cannot resist her. Finally, I closed her eyes and she asked me. At that moment, her lips parted and I began again. Only this time is much more intense. I can feel her heat and softness in more detail. It's much more pressure than the one before. Without any shame, less than desire. Suddenly, I felt my strength leave my body. She holds me tight so I don't fall down as if I were a toy. I'm left without any energy. My skin is pale, my body feels cold, heavy as if made of lead. Don't worry, I won't take your life, Lillian said full of pride. Besides, I have more than enough energy to accomplish my vengeance. Suddenly she smiles. It's a malicious smile that I never would have wanted to see. Wait, did she say revenge? My mind barely works now. Everything looks fuzzy, everything is so confusing. I don't even seem to mind hearing that or imagine how cruel it could be. Definitely there's something broken in me. You've shown loyalty to me, so you will be my partner in this eternity. My kiss was our contract. You shall be my servant and will obey me and please me in everything that I need. You're saying that my body and my mind cease to be under my control. It's my first slave, how pleasing. I never thought that I would find a human so stupid, but at the same time, noble as you. I think I was lucky. Wings look at that time reflects a seductive mouths, they are cruel blue eyes that love to be like that. There is a problem. A slave without power is not useful. She pauses and then snaps her fingers. I know, I will share some of my power with you. Count yourself lucky. After saying that, she laughs playfully, then she sets her gaze. I suddenly feel that strength returning to normal. She lets go of me, and now I have No problem staying on my own. But I soon realized that I was wrong. I feel even stronger than before. Great, now just one more thing left to do. She looks at me with a mischievous smile. Surely she wasn't thinking of anything good, but before I could say more, something interrupts her. Ashley appeared in front of the two. Thankfully, you're still alive. Come with me, we can still beat her. Ashley shouts, sounding almost desperate. I hear it, but even if I want, my body does not respond. I am completely still as if I were a statue. You idiot. What are you waiting for? Flee. Ashley said, seeing my lack of reaction, sounding even more desperate. You're the only idiot is you. Don't you realize it was not necessary to kill him to carry out my plan? Winter's my overflowing with pride and confidence. Look at her in blue eyes said, oh, she already had the victory in her hands. Ashley freezes for a second from the impression she was stunned. Wait, what are you trying to say? She asked full of disbelief that was visible in plain sight. William smiles. Simple, he gave me all of his energy, and as a reward, I allowed him to be my slave. You lie. Ashley doesn't take the news well. She screams furiously while looking with hatred at it. The amenity of the two must be something deeper than what I imagined. No, it is the truth. It's a simple response of William displaying a confident smile that was almost insulting to see. Ashley bites her lower lip with anguish. Her eyes at that time become sharp. I didn't expect you to have to use this method, but there is no other option. Suddenly, Ashley's nails grow long and sharp as knives. She points at her own jugular. Stop her, ordered Lillian without hesitation. At that moment, I feel my body disintegrate, and before I knew it, I was right next to Ashley. Less than a blink, I had changed positions. By pure instinct, I grab her arms and stop Ashley. No, let go of me, you giant idiot. I have to do this or you don't know what will happen. She tries to escape, but now I have more strength, superhuman strength. I'll now allow you to do that, Lillian said, ending with a short laugh. And she smiles full confidence, partially hiding her lips behind one hand with elegance. Let me go. Let me go. Let me go. Ashley repeats the same thing over and over, but little by little she becomes quieter, accepting her defeat. She lowers her head in silence. It appeared something was stealing her power. It's my fault that something is no other than me. You will be my main guest, Ashley, of how I carry out my revenge. You don't have to worry about those idiot humans. Besides, deep down, you wanted it to. Ashley silently accepts her fate. Breaks my heart to see her like that. No matter how hard I try, my body doesn't listen to me, not even a single muscle. Tonight, I will fulfill the reason of my existence. How beautiful, after so long waiting for this day, finally they will know my revenge, finally. She looks very different from when I first saw her now. I can't stop laughing with euphoria. Every single one of her laughs leaves a scar in my heart. Now I understand my mistake, now that it was too late. My body has become a slave. I'm just a puppet now, waiting for my lady to pull my strings. That night, I was a witness to the most heinous acts someone could commit. Murders, torture, screams, blood, tears. I saw all this more than once each. Family, friends, and neighbors were murdered, and I couldn't do anything about it. Not that it isn't right, my own hands were the ones who took their lives. I still remember their faces in agony, silently begging me to stop. But no matter how much I wanted to, my will is controlled by someone else. I'm just a puppet now, waiting for my mistress to pull my strings, and eternal life filled with misery is all that awaits me now. In my despair, I managed to break the control of Lillian, but just for long enough to make a single move. Surrounded by death and fire, I shout a loud and heartbreaking scream to the sky. My voice echoes all over, carrying a message of pain for which there were no words. Our revenge in this town is fulfilled. However, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. She beholds the destruction of the town with satisfaction and then turns to look at me with a smile. We are leaving. Yes. You are so cute. Seeing her smile makes my heart pound. Although I just above now, I still feel a fragment of my conscience. But it's already corrupted. Her revenge and smile inspire love instead of hatred. Because my life and world are only... We will always be together for all eternity. Of course, I will always protect you, help you, and love you for all eternity. I'll do everything that my lady princess can be happy. Don't expect any less from you, my love, so you truly are my knight in silver armor. November 12th. It's been over 1 week since the discovery of the total slaughter in the small town. We still have no clues about what happened here. The evidence scattered everywhere. Explain truthfully. So we're trying. It's as if we're trying to find a needle in a haystack. The evidence is scattered everywhere, explained the chief of police, William. It's as if we were trying to find a needle in a haystack. Explanation why everyone suddenly decided to kill their neighbors and commit suicide later. But sadly, there isn't one. In this case, the needle does not exist. So far, everything seems to point that it was a pagan ritual of this town years ago. It's related to witches, supernatural legends, but there's no doubt these tests were a result of nothing but human actions. Anyway, we will continue with the investigations. She sounded confused, but in reality, all the country is literally in a single night, all the inhabitants of it died by the hand of their own neighbors. They were not just murders. Many were tortured too. According to the investigations, more than 1,000 people were burned alive in this incident. And we got the other ending. Yay! And we get the credits again, you guys. Alrighty. That was definitely an interesting game. Oh. I'm definitely tired after this little misadventure here. Alrighty, so we got all the endings of the game. I want to check though after and see if there's not like a special thing or anything. Thanks for playing. Alright. Seriously, there's another one? I thought I got them all. I don't even know how I would get that one. Holy crap. Alright, you guys. Let's give it another go. So we pretty much have to do that. What if we escape? So now I notice the path I haven't seen before. Should I take this path? Holy crap, there's more. Sorry, I'm not going to read the rest of this. My voice is tired. So, are we... I think we're gonna give her the toy she lost. think I can read again. The girl looks at me in silence for a few seconds before suddenly laughing. I see you must be the knight who I was calling before, she said with a sweet smile. I blinked surprise. You're the voice that I heard inside my mind? It's hard to believe what I just heard. I remembered that the voice was calling me to a place where that evil cat would not let me pass. The girl laughed softly before nodding a couple of times. Yes, that was me. While speaking, she looks me in the eyes with tenderness. I feel something warm in my heart just from seeing that look of hers. I actually wanted you to come to this place, but I don't know why you started to run in the opposite direction. The girl looks a little sad after saying that, however, she quickly recovers her smile. That's why I went out looking for you. I would have never imagined that you would end up here. Me neither. I was just walking without knowing where I was going, looking for the way out of this forest, I replied sincerely. I guess I'm lucky, but there's something in her voice that I don't like. Anyway, if it comes from a girl so sweet, I should be good. That moment I noticed as the girl never stopped staring at me. Her eyes contemplate me with so much adoration that I feel both flattered and uncomfortable. Take a step backwards because of my anxiety, but she instantly takes a step forward. I don't know if is the appropriate way of addressing me, but I cannot deny that I like it. What is it? My heart beats fast. And the girl gives one step forward and another. Now she is so close I can smell her Vincent. It seems that she did not know the concept of personal space. So then I suddenly heard something hit the ground. Surprise makes us both silent, and at that moment I realized something should be in my hand no longer was there. Unwillingly I dropped the knight till my anxiety made me clumsy. That, said the girl after a short silence. The look in her eyes had changed completely. She is astonished suddenly something had stolen her breath. The blue eyes are no longer concentrated on me, but look down at something that is on the floor. Where did you find that? The girl asked, astonished. I do not know how to react. I suddenly bend down and pick up the tool. Then I offer it to her kindly. After hesitating for a moment, she almost snatches it from my hands. It seems to be something very precious to her. I found it buried in the forest. I reply kindly as I see how she embraces it with such tenderness that makes me smile. I guess that you must be Lillian? She nods. Yes, my name is Lillian. She then returns her gaze toward my face. Her eyes reflect a shy and pure kindness. Thank you, she said timidly. My name is Axel, and you don't have to thank me, even if I couldn't escape. It seems that I would have some company. If all goes well, we only have to wait until the sun rises. I give one more look at Lillian. The first thing that is noticeable is her great beauty. But after seeing more carefully, I notice that there is something more. Its presence is a little strange. She blinks after realizing that I'm looking at her. Immediately, I avert my sight, nervously, only to hear her laugh. You're the girl who lived in this house, is that right? I was steeling myself for what she was going to answer. How is it that you're still in this place? I gulp. Perhaps you're some kind of ghost or something like that? Lillian looks me in the eyes with tenderness. Do I look anything like a scary ghost? She said playfully. I immediately reply saying no with a shake of my head. You're right, I lived in this cabin for a long time with my family, but that is now a thing of the past. Could you tell me about that? I asked God by curiosity without thinking that it might be something personal. Lillian closed her eyes and thought about it for a moment. I could, but only if you promised to help me before listening to it, she said, looking at me later with puppy eyes quietly begging for my approval. Now stop thinking that something does not convince me. Promise to help you? I said without much energy before promising that I need to know what kind of help you want from me. My words are firm. I don't want her to ask later for my soul or to drink my blood. Only makes a child's annoyed face for a couple of seconds. I just want a bit of your energy, Knight. If you give it to me, then I will respond to all your questions. You're saying that she gives a tender look towards me. I don't understand what she says. It's not like I'm a battery, but I do have many questions that I would like to ask. I doubt for a moment before sighing with resignation. It seems there is no other way out. Okay, but how will I do that? I ask, looking at her confused. William smiles on. It's very easy. You just need to kiss me, Knight. She responds as if it wasn't anything special. Did I hear well? Kiss her. I lost my breath just from thinking about it. It seems that something to this forest had been a good idea after all. I suddenly feel Lillian caress my cheek with one hand. I turn to see her face, only to discover that she is very close to me. Instantly I blush, but shortly after I notice something strange. Her body feels cold. I don't know how to explain it, but her presence is strangely faint. The texture of her skin is nice, but at the same time weak. Lillian smiles while she looks me in the eyes with a mischievous face. Still must reward you for giving me back my toy, she said gently while approaching. Her lips to mine, slowly savoring every moment. I couldn't do anything to stop her. Soon I feel her lips again. Fine. That moment I feel as if I had been possessed. My desires take control of my body, forcing me to kiss her passionately. Real order seeing each other after a very long time. I closed my eyes. I didn't need to see. But the sweetness soon dies, being replaced with a stabbing pain, as if someone had stabbed needles of ice along my back. Without thinking, I raked the gives a move away from her. What did you do? I asked, giving an astonished look. What happened to me? I feel cold, as if she had stolen half of the heat from my body. I also feel heavy. You don't need to fear. I just took a portion of your energy as we read. As your woman looked at me with puppy eyes that begged me to not get angry with her. Don't worry, you'll soon feel better, she added shortly after. I become silent just from seeing her. Could not be angry with someone like her. Then I sighed, leaving my anger and concerns with my breath. Soon after, I noticed that Lillian does nothing more than look at me, tenderly waiting for me to say something. It was then that I realized something. Suddenly, the presence of Lillian becomes heavier. Eh? I exclaimed with curiosity. For she felt almost transparent, but now I can see her with solid colors. As if before she was just a reflection, now she was real. Did you notice my Knight? She asked full of joy. Thanks to you, I can now materialize myself completely. Before my presence was partial dim, but now I have more power thanks to you. Lillian exclaimed, giving me a smile. Now I understand why she wanted my help. But after hearing that, one thing is clear to me. She is not human. With that, do you have everything you wanted? I asked, a little disgusted. Can't say that I'm happy after this. I still have some difficulty standing. Lillian responds with a nod. Yes, I will now respond to your questions, kind Knight. Words are honest, just like the sweet look in her eyes. Well, it seems that I can trust her. After looking at her for a moment, final move. What are you exactly, Lillian? Was my first question. No doubt it sounds strange, but there's something here that does not make sense. Are you really not a ghost, or perhaps you're a wood? Lillian stares carefully at me before laughing softly, closing her eyes a moment. Then she looks directly into my eyes. You got one of them right, my Knight. She pauses. I really am a spirit, but before I was a witch who lived in this place. A spirit? I was confused. How was that any different from a ghost? To me, it sounded like the same thing. Then I see Lillian shaking her head in denial. She then looks me straight in the eyes. A ghost is the soul of someone who died, and which by some force it remains in this world. A spirit, on the other hand, is a different entity. They have a much more powerful presence and do not necessarily come from a dead person. Could you explain it simpler? I asked completely lost. I guess she knew how to differentiate them. Well, All of this was completely new for me. Only known less sweetly as if my confusion was adorable. A ghost is someone who died, but their soul stayed on this earth. A spirit is a supernatural entity. It does not need to come from any living being. An example would be the fairies or spirits of the forest. That was much clearer. I silently take a moment to connect the dots. I exclaimed thoughtfully before looking back at her. Her blue eyes patiently waited for me to say something. So you mean that you were a witch before, but somehow ended up becoming a spirit of this forest? I asked quizzically. After hearing me, Lily nods and then gives me a smile. That's right. I was a young witch who lived in this cabin with my parents, but unfortunately, Lily stopped suddenly. For a moment, her expression on her face seems to be full of hatred. Well, an instant later, she's back to normal. It must have been an error of mine. Something happened, and after death, I ended up becoming a spirit. I had Lily soon after, giving more light to the situation. When she said the last two words, she gave me a sweet small smile, looking at me with pure innocence. I understand. I remembered, however, there was still something important I wanted to know. My eyes then set on Lillian. Why were you calling me before, Lillian? I asked with a sharp look in my eyes, as if I tried to see inside her soul. Oh. She gazes at me with tenderness. Because I needed your help, kind knight, but also to protect you. Hearing her say that surprises me, but she doesn't seem to be lying. I think you've seen the evil cat that lives in this forest. She is an evil spirit. The image of the cat flashes in my mind at that moment. She is right. It was because of that cat that I ended up in this place. Surely that cat is the one who created this rotten, sinister atmosphere. For I was happy as the spirit of this forest. The joy that surrounded me gave me the energy that fed me. Since that cat appeared, nobody's come. That's why I couldn't keep my material form and had to steal your energy. I see. It's all the fault of that cat, I said with a better idea of the situation. Finally, there is one last thing I'm curious about. Lillian, do you know something about the disappearances of 5 men which took place in this forest? Lillian seems surprised by my question, but she quickly regains her composure. With a fragile look in her eyes, she nods twice. Yes, they are dead. The cat stole their vital energy, killing them. That's how she acquires more power. Wait, isn't that the same thing you did with me? I was confused. Lillian immediately shakes her hands while showing me the palms. A shy gesture that said I was wrong. It's very different. She didn't stop and ended up taking all life from them. I wouldn't kill such a kind knight like you, who voluntarily came to me to give me something so precious. Explained Lillian, but basically they had the same power but different intentions. I don't understand. I said, thinking about it for a moment with my sight down. I then returned my eyes to Lillian. I still have one doubt left. Why have all the disappearances occurred on Halloween? Because it is the only night in which we can materialize. Answered Lillian, quickly speaking with perfect calmness as if it were something ordinary. Fortunately, my look of confusion seemed enough to tell her that I didn't understand well what she meant. During the night of Halloween, magic becomes more powerful. All the other days, I'm only an invisible being that cannot do more than observe this forest. But on the night of Halloween, I am able to show my presence, and I appear. I'm trying to say that during the other days, you don't have any powers? I curiously, that will explain well what was happening. I guess it will be the same case for the cat, only in this night, she can be dangerous. Lillian nods. Yes, that's right, Great Knight. The look in her eye is sincere. I see. Thank you very much. That was everything I wanted to know. I never thought that I would say something like this on this night, but her answers have been of great help. Finally, I felt more confident and not as lost as before. Now the only thing left was to wait for the sun to rise in the sky. Unfortunately, the atmosphere here seemed more friendly and calm. Once the sun rises, I can escape without problems. I will survive the wickedness of the cat. And I was lost in my thoughts when suddenly I noticed the look Lillian had upon me. Her eyes told me she wants to ask me something else. Something wrong, Lillian? I asked, not knowing what to expect. Lillian instantly responded with a nod. Now that you know the truth, there is a special mission in which I need your help. I want you to help me defeat the cat and break this curse. Words leave me at a loss for breath. Defeat her, but what could I do against that cursed cat? I'm just a normal person, without a doubt. I'd like to put an end to the curse, but I can't take After hearing me, Lillian's eyes light up with hope. You don't have to fear, Knight. You're much stronger than you look. You have a large amount of magical energy sleeping within you. You will also have my support. Having her so close to me makes me nervous. I hope she doesn't want more energy, although I wouldn't complain if she wants it. Do you really need my help, Lillian? It sounded too dangerous. I would prefer not to be in a fight. She nods before looking at me with plain eyes, silently begging for me to help. Yes, it is necessary. The cat and I have very evenly matched powers. With your presence, Knight, that could give me the victory. There is nothing but tenderness in her blue eyes. It's hard to say no to a look like that. My heart beats fast when honestly, I don't want to meddle between them, but if she said what she says is true, then I can make a difference and put an end to this curse once and for all. Then I have to do it. Okay, I will help you kill the cat and end the curse. I said full of determination. It's hard to believe that the words came out of my mouth, but there are times that we have to be strong. Do not forget that she has killed aces before. What is this brother said? No, she suddenly said. Don't kill her. After saying that, she stays silent. She seems scared. I'll hear her without understanding what's wrong. If you kill her, she will later be reincarnated as a more evil and more powerful being. This is the first time that I've seen Lillian this worried. No doubt it's something serious. Knight, please trust me. This is the best thing we can do is capture her. That is precisely the mission I have for you. Capture her. I repeat, confused, staring into her eyes. Lillian. Yes, if you can see that she tries to take her own life, you must stop her. Just hold her for a few seconds and that'll be enough for me to imprison her. Lillian spawns looking at me again with puppy eyes. And how am I supposed to do that? I asked, not fully convinced of this plan. My reflexes are not better than a cat for sure. I'll use my magic to strengthen your body. As soon as the combat starts, she will place all her attention on me. So when you see that she is about to take her life, you must move as fast as you can and hold her brave nun. Lillian said, placing all of her trust in me. Okay, I understand. I answered full of determination. This was our plan of a counterattack with my help. With my help, this long curse will finally break. Very well, you can count on me, Lillian. After hearing me, Lillian is filled with joy. She closes her eyes for a moment. When she opens them, she gives me a look filled with love along with a radiant smile. For a second, I felt as if we had been in love for years, something beautiful but false. More than saying that I would help her, it seemed like I was making a bigger commitment, and therefore a more cherished one, as if I had promised that I would always be her ally. Okay. I was happy to see her. So happy. She must have been alone for a long time. However, suddenly her expression changes. From one second to the next, Lillian gives an expression of anguish. Something was bothering her. The cat approaches. Soon she will be here. Hearing her say it made my heart skip a beat. Anxiety grows up. Apparently, Lillian knew it because she unexpectedly gave me a sweet smile. You're not, gentle Knight, she said tenderly before making a serious face. Quickly give me a kiss so I can strengthen your body. Letting Angle finish my son before Lily, impatient plan a new kiss and all soft pleasant relief. It seems to be the best way, better than coffee or some cold shower. I thought, jiggling myself. However, before we finished, suddenly something attacks us with such power that it destroys part of the cabin. Being a large hole connects to the outside, I can't even begin to imagine what the job is like. Right? You really are an idiot. What are you doing? Said the girl with the white hair and red eyes that I'd never seen before. Somehow she appeared to know the way she looks. I mean, he thinks that. How impatient you are, Ashley. Don't you see I was having it? With a mischievous smile on her face, or is it you're jealous because men prefer me? No wonder you are just an annoying brat. Roll her eyes, Ashley set her sights on Lillian, seeing her as an enemy. Won't you leave this place? I'll never let you. There's anger in her words, but there's also something strange. She doesn't sound evil, rather, she seems rather to be on the defensive. It's strange, but that is my impression. Lillian chuckles after hearing her eyeing her. Looks behind him with elegance. You're wrong. This will be the night of your defeat. Ashley makes snorts in English. I didn't want to do this, but I think I will have no choice. Unexpectedly, just she finished speaking, she jumps at me with extraordinary speed. I am more than impressed, however, I managed to dodge her, somehow jumping towards Lily. My feet touch the ground, I'm right next to her. Lillian falls, and then a strong current of air pushes Ashley away from us. Magic, without doubt. You giant idiot, Ashley shouted, falling with perfect balance, as one might expect of a cat. There was no further explanation. It had to be her. Otherwise, the attack and the fact that they knew each other wouldn't make sense. You know what you're doing? You're endangering everyone. You're wasting your time, Lillian said without even giving me time to think about it. You already chosen to be my ally. Axel's mine, and together we will defeat you, Ashley. Without a doubt, that was why I promised. But Lillian was acting different from before. She was arrogant and seemed to be enjoying it. The girl then hisses with anger, imitating an angry cat. She even shows me her teeth, and her nails grew at that time. You really are an idiot, she said, furious, with her red eyes gazing at me. I'm the good one. That princess behind you is the one who killed them all. Eh? I exclaimed, confused, before seeing how Ashley jumps to dodge a ball of energy. Translucent, as if it was made of hot air. With the power so great that it opens a hole in the ground where she was standing. That's how Lillian, who shot it from the tip of her fingers. I can feel a huge and unknown energy concentrate in her hand. However, what most surprises me is the expression on her face. A malicious smile draws on her lips. Was she having fun? Oh, fun. To break the curse be fun. Look at the face of Ashley to compare it. It is just the opposite. Ashley appeared to be in agony, worried about what would happen while giving her all. Why do you believe all of her words? Ashley shouted before dodging another ball of energy. The blast echoed in my ears. I just wanted to scare them away. She's the one who stole the energy of those men to consummate her revenge. Once again, I am at a loss for breath. Now the sea of doubt is playing in my mind. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm even more confused than before. Something is wrong with the two. Both Ashley and Lillian now appear to be what they say. At least I cannot believe in them. Shut up. Lillian yelled furious at the same time that she fires a large bolt of lightning at her. The attack is so fast and powerful she could not avoid it. Then Lillian turns back to look at me. My knight, do not fall for her lies. She is just trying to confuse you. Lillian looks at me in the eyes with indescribable tenderness. Changing her emotion is so drastic that I don't know how I feel on the matter. You believe me, don't you? She ended up with a kind and innocent smile. But before being able to say something, we were interrupted. A great wave of translucent energy hits Lillian, knocking down part of the cabin. The blast was tremendous, so much that I'm stunned speechless. Again, it was like seeing a wrecking ball doing its job in unstoppable force. Curse you, I will make you pay. Lillian cries furious, cleaning up the blood on her lips. Despite the monstrous hit, she was almost completely clean. You deserve it for flirting in the middle of a match. Ashley scolded her for looking furious too. After saying that, Ashley and Lillian resumed their fierce and fantastical fight. Using powers that I could not even begin to understand, much less describe. Either way, one thing is certain: I don't want to be in this wrecked cabin. However, as soon as I move, I unexpectedly step on something. Confused, I look down and find the toy knight. It must have fell from Lillian's hands after the attack. My eyes set on it. Everything became silent. I watched fascinated as if it was the most interesting thing that existed. Nearing the incredible combat that takes place right in front of my eyes, this toy calls me something and it is calling me. Without even thinking, I pick it up from the ground. Is at that time I am transported to another place? No, that's an error. I'm still in the same cabin as before. However, what's changed is time. The cabin now looks clean and full of life, almost as if it were new. I found myself extending both hands, palms up, waiting to receive something. My eyes look up, beholding a lovely smile of an old man with a beard and almost no hair. Without hesitation, he puts something in my hands. It's cold. It is a familiar shape. It is the toy knight. Having it in my hands fills me with great joy. It is something that I desired so much but never hoped to have. It was too expensive, too unnecessary, but still I dreamed to see a knight in shining armor. Since long ago it had been in my limbs to see his real dream fulfilled me and sweet happiness. Someone heard it, this unnecessary dream that even the owner had hopelessly abandoned. There's someone who picked it up and gave it life. What could I call something like that but love? Being able to hold it in my hands meant more to me than any other gift. Even if they offered me a bag of gold in its place, it would not be the same. Without hesitation, the first thing I did was engrave my name on it. Lillian. This belongs to me. It's mine and mine alone. Next second, I'm in the forest, my legs hurt, I'm out of breath, I'm terribly tired, I just want to rest a little, but suddenly my father takes my hand, he is angry, rather desperate, he forces me to continue running. Our escape was cut short, however. Soon the toy would fall to the ground stained with blood. Surprise attack, only I would survive. Miraculously survived those wounds that should have been fatal, it was a meaningless miracle. Next day, it wouldn't be more than ash. When I return to the real world, I feel there is something on my face. A frustrating expression, I touch it only to discover that there were tears. I look at my hand for a few seconds, completely lost in that image. I hear nothing, I see nothing else, I just think there's something twisted in all of this. The Lillian here is the same Lillian I saw, but not completely. Definitely something is missing from her. She is just a piece. Suddenly I shake my head. There's something I need to see. Ashley and Lillian continue fighting using all kinds of extraordinary. Ashley shoots lightning bolts to Lillian, but she reflects them with an almost invisible shield. Luna smiles just the same time she covers her body with a thick darkness, which later takes the form of a huge snake. Surfing the darkness attacks Ashley, but she manages to dodge it thanks to her great reflexes. Why are you doing this? Ashley looks angry at the same time she fires a red lightning bolt, but did not seem to be made of electricity but of a different energy. The lightning hits the snake, dispersing some of the thick darkness. All time has passed. The people who hurt you are already gone. There isn't even a memory of the crime committed here anymore. The only thing here is a village of innocent people. Ashley said just before Lillian attacked her again. This time, she's not fast enough. Sergeant tears her side, causing a serious wound. However, in front of my eyes, I see it reduced to nothing in just a moment. Is it that you have forgotten the feeling of tears falling down your cheeks, and blood escaping from your body until you lose all of your heart? William responded without hesitation. Her answer turns me into stone. No matter how much I want to forget it, no matter how much time passes from it, remains as vivid as when it happened. I cannot live otherwise if it is not like this. Every day it eats me from the inside. Apparently William has discarded the good girl act, or had forgotten about me. Not wasting time, Ashley attacks firing a red lightning bolt, even bigger than the previous. She was giving everything in this fight. William responds, throwing all the darkness that covers her to Ashley, revealing her human body. Darkness and light collide, an explosion. For a moment, everything was covered by white light, accompanied by a deafening noise. My vision returns to see both Ashley and Lillian are seriously injured. They gasp for air while staring into the eyes of the other. I have no doubts. Ashley was telling the truth. It was not the cat who killed those men, but Lillian, because of her desire for revenge, or rather her inability to forget the pain of what they did to her. Lillian is an aggressor, but she is also a victim. She is also suffering. I press the tool in my hands with all my strength. Anxiety. I don't know what to do, but I don't want to stay here idly. I must intervene. And in that unexpected line from mine, something happens that leaves me speechless. This is enough. I won't let you disturb me anymore. This will be the night I will defeat you. Lillian said at the same time she gathers an incredible magic. Dozens of snakes in darkness revolve around her flame. She was preparing to cast an enormous spell. Try if you can, princess. I won't let you hurt anybody again, replied Ashley, doing the same thing, only that in her case the energy takes the form of red and white light. Immense power surrounds each, revealing the nature of their interior. It was easy to know what they were playing. The intensity and energy covering them at that time leaves me speechless. It is something I'd never seen before. Immeasurable, indescribable, and above all that fascinating. Wait, I shout desperately, trying to stop them, but they can't hear me. In the world they are now, only two of them exist. But I knew if my legs began to move with extraordinary speed, thanks to the spell of Lillian. The two activated the spell at the same time. They yell with all their might and heart. A stream of red and white light advances unstoppable against another of darkness, moving in the opposite directions. I go from my soul, possessed by the desire to stop them before they hurt themselves anymore. I don't know why, but something inside me pushes me to do so. The feeling I had was like seeing two great friends fighting to death. In any case, I don't have time to question why I do. It was already done. Before I knew it, I was already between the two. I opened my eyes wide with disbelief when I realized it. My eyes reflect the immense light that becomes brighter by the instant until it hits me, making a monstrous explosion like nothing else I had never even seen before, with me in the center of it. At that moment, everything turned white. All sounds, all images, all the spell sensations were gone. I was left alone, abandoned in empty light. How can I describe what it feels like to leave this world? It was as if I had been pushed into the sea and sank quickly, leaving behind the world from where I came. Even if I stretch my hand, I cannot reach it. I just continue to sink until the image of the surface disappears. The only difference is that here there is no darkness, instead it is white and eternal light. I cannot speak. Moving is impossible considering that I even have a body. The only thing I do is sink deeper with every passing second. While I do it, I can't help but feel sad, or rather nostalgic. I just entered this place and I already feel as if I had spent years here. Suddenly the white becomes something different. The internal white changes to green and turns into a forest. There's a cabin in the forest. In the cabin there are 3 people, my mom, my dad, and I. No, that is a mistake. I'm not me. I is Lily and actually the real one. And not those 2 who were fighting before. Now I understand it. Now I understand I'm not dead. The power did not exterminate me, but showed me a window to their inside. Lily and Ashley are 2 names, but both belong to the same person. As their parents could not decide, they gave her a middle name. Now I understand it. You idiot, do not die. Suddenly I hear a voice of Ashley calling me. There's concern mixed with anger in voice. Hearing it fills me with delight. My knight, resist. Then I hear the voice of Lillian. I can hear her just as concerned as Ashley. Despite being evil, she felt something for me. I guess it's impossible to have a 100% evil spirit. I'm alive. I remember it with difficulty. I felt 10 times worse than waking up on Monday at 6 a.m. in the morning to go to school. And that is saying a lot. Slowly I regain my senses and start to perceive the world again. Shapes and sounds become clearer. As soon as I say that, both girls sigh with relief. How can you be so stupid? Ashley roared furiously. Jeez, I can't even talk anymore. Though I don't blame her in the least. On the contrary, I believe she is right. Don't do something so dangerous. If possible, I would prefer not to kill you. After saying that, she closed her eyes across her arms, making an arrogant gesture. My knight. Almost looking at me with puppy eyes. I'm lucky my sacrifice was able to stop them, at least for now. Here, I think this belongs to you. I said at the same time I placed the toy in the hands of Lily. She looks at me more than surprised. She simply couldn't believe it. I had no words. I don't know how to say it, but I feel like that this toy would save my life. It was no coincidence that I found it. It must have been waiting for someone who could finally break the curse without killing her. That the toy you have there is. Ashley murmured as surprised as Elaine. Her cheeks were slightly red, making her look adorable. Seems that even she can be cute when she wants to. That also belongs to you, am I right? I said shortly before standing. I already feel a little bit better, still tired, but not as bad as before. Without thinking, I cleaned the dirt off my clothes with my hands. Suddenly, everything had become too quiet. Confused, I looked at Ashley's face and then Lauren's. They are cold and more still than a statue. How could you know? The 2 cried in unison, destroying the short calm that was surrounding us. It was almost as loud as the explosion of before. I almost fell to the ground. They stared at me, narrowing their eyes as if trying to see inside me. There was something slightly funny about seeing them acting like this. I inhaled to fill my lungs with air and my heart with courage. That toy told me I don't know how it could happen, but I'm sure that was it. Since I found it, I felt a mysterious force guiding me, and during the match, it showed scenes from your past. After saying that, I looked at their faces. Both had the same thoughtful expression. They apparently had some difficulty believing it, but at the same time, they couldn't discard the possibility so easily. Could it be that all these years it was collecting magical energy? Ashley asked herself with her side down and one hand under her chin while thinking deeply. That is the only explanation. It was filled with magical energy and relived its memories. Smiling and thinking just as deep on the subject. After that, they both nodded at the same time. It was funny and adorable. However, I quickly erased the smile from my face. I wasn't It wasn't going to stay like this. This was nothing more than a small truce. Next year would be the same. I have to put an end to this curse. You two are the same person, am I right? So why do you have to fight? I asked, knowing that they would not take it well, but I couldn't avoid doing so. Instantly, both crossed their arms, making an angry face. It's her fault this princess can't forget what happened and wants to take revenge from people. Even though hundreds of years have passed. Ashley angrily responded. She had a good point, but now that I've seen the past of the two, I think I can understand why that is. Don't lie, it's the fault of that cat. She always wants to act like a saint. But she doesn't even understand how horrible I feel inside. Every day, every night, I can simply stay here doing nothing. Late night. Fortunately, she didn't have any intentions to fight for now. At the time I was going to be burned alive at the stake, a white cat was watching through my... Using the last of my power, I managed to transfer my soul in her, and I felt that would be the end, but soon the desire for revenge grew in me so much that it took a life of its own. My soul is fragmented. Ashley explained with complete seriousness. Lillian does not protest, that was the pure truth. I take a deep breath in preparation for what I have to do. Idiots. I unexpectedly said, seeing an angry face from the two as a response. The one saying idiot is the idiot. Ashley instantly replied, however, soon her anger disappears. She blushes embarrassed when I get my sight on her red eyes. I wait for a couple of seconds before speaking. You are misinterpreting what you feel. You loved your family, isn't that right? It's because you love them that hurts to have lost them. I'm not saying that's okay to seek revenge, that is cruel. But do not bury and ignore your pain. Don't call it evil. It's only human. It seems that my words had some effect. Ashley, after a few seconds, lowers her sight, looking troubled. After saying that, I turned to Lillian. She blinks, her blue eyes were anxious as if they were impatient to know what I had to say to her. It's the same for you too. You're not a demon. There's a part of you that could be a good girl. Lillian, there's some good in you. I don't think that everything you told me was a lie. Or the joy in which I saw you hugging that toy was all an act. I pause while I remember those moments. I know it hurts, but the one who suffers the most from revenge is yourself. There is no more to say. Looking like Ashley lowers her head, questioning herself, looking sad and pensive. I can't help but think that having that toy in her hands helps to soothe her pain. Yes, you're right. The truth is that I hate them. I hate those idiots for what they did to me. It hurt a lot. We were innocent. Ashley cried furious, revealing her hidden feelings. Yes, but at the same time, I don't want to hurt anybody. No matter how many I kill, I will never be able to turn back time or revive the dead. Only that's what sadness in her voice. After saying that, they look at each other's eyes for a couple of seconds before giving one another a gentle smile. It's like seeing a couple of sisters forgiving themselves after years of... I was pleased, grateful. I could not ask for a better end. I just stare at them while they are looking into their eyes, feeling a great satisfaction. I met them just to see them, but somehow I bonded with them. Ashley extends her hand to Lillian with perfect elegance and gesture, as if inviting her to have a dance. Lillian nods and then accepts her hand. Then I suddenly see how they slowly begin to disappear. Both are dispersed in the form of particles of light. It's a small firefly screaming with depressing green color. Suddenly, two turned to gaze at me, giving me their last smile. It was a pleasure to meet you. No, because I can't call you stupid or idiot anymore. It's a pity, but it was a pleasure to meet you, human. Ashley said with the same arrogance as always, but this time she seemed to have more respect. I am more than proud to hear it. Maybe if you hadn't attacked me in the beginning, we could have talked some more. Yes, it is a bad habit I have. She smiles a little ashamed, knowing that my words are the truth. Thanks for helping us find the peace that we needed. Goodbye, Nibble, and I confess I enjoyed you were right when you said that not everything was a lie. I enjoyed the time we spent together, even if it's short. I'm glad I didn't kill you. And said, looking a little tender and every. Is there no way you could stay? I was being stubborn, but I didn't want things to end like this. We could start again, a new life, and become good friends. I like to, but my existence, the purpose of my life, has already been fulfilled. Thank you for freeing me of these painful feelings I was carrying. Thank you for showing me that not everyone is evil and there are still good people like you. Thank you for trusting me despite my corruptism. And this is goodbye? Yes. It's fun to meet you, said the two unexpectedly in unison. Those were their last words before disappearing along the means. Without thinking, I ran towards them, even if I couldn't do anything. I wanted to touch them one last time. But the only thing my hands were able to reach, particles of light slow on my fingers. I did it. I'm a hero. I'm the one who finally broke the curse. Now no one else will be trapped by it. And it ended too soon. I'd like to see you again someday. I remembered to the night sky, watching it with longing for a couple more minutes, as if waiting for something to occur. Naturally, there was no response. Now the only thing that stays with me is an unfulfilled desire. I desire to have a second chance with them. At least I know that at the end of their lives they could find some happiness. Now I can only get out of the forest. I know that no one will believe my story if I tell it, but at least I achieved what was our main goal. An unforgettable night. And we get the credits again. Oh. Well. Let's make sure there are no more endings before I lose it. I don't think I could play another ending even if I wanted to. So tired, you guys. Or whoever's watching still. Hope you guys. This was a really fun game. Wait. What is it you consider so important? Oh, according to my investigations, there's going to be a new female transfer student today. As usual, he's more interesting girls than in my fantastic dream. Now that I think about it, I don't remember hearing before his student be transferred. Curiosity, I hear what my classmates around me are talking about. They all are talking about the same thing. Well, I guess I just wasn't paying attention. They say that this girl is gorgeous. No, even the word gorgeous is not enough to describe her. Attention, the teacher is coming. Alfred said, warning that it's time to return to our seats. Shortly after, we see a teacher, a man about 40 years, bald with glasses, carrying a couple of thick books. After a cordial greeting, the teacher prepares to introduce the new student. Well, as everyone knows, today a new student will join our class. Remember to be nice, sir. After saying that, we see the door open. I feel the atmosphere in the room is patient to see the atmosphere. The place is low, creative. However, when at last I see your face, I get the biggest surprise of my life. Greetings, my name is Lillian Ashley. Yeah. It's pronounced Union. She said, ending with a friendly smile. She's unquestionably a girl of great beauty. I must be the only one here who was surprised by something else. Lillian Ashley, I just don't believe it. Everyone then gives me a strange look at the moment as if I had. But I don't care. The surprise was too big to hide. Hello, Axel. We get to see each other again, she said, giving me a sweet smile. At the same time, she waves her hand, blushing slightly embarrassed. I cannot answer. I simply have no voice. My mind is blank. She is Lillian Ashley, the real girl. She's not Lillian. She's both. She looked just like that in the memories I have her. It's her real appearance before her soul was fragmented. I thought I would never see her again. It was then that, without thinking, I checked the date on my phone. My phone causes me to lose my breath. 8:03 a.m., October 31st. It's simply not possible. Time moved back. I had the feeling that it was something more than a dream. For a second I doubted, but now I'm sure that night was real, as is this day. This year I will be blessed with living Halloween twice. Well, I'm very shy to talk about me. There is one thing I would like to say before taking my seat to begin class. Something in honor of this special day. The world then became silent, waiting for what that beautiful girl had to say. Tilting her head gently, giving us her best smile. A radiant smile full of happiness. Trick and treat. We did it. We did it, guys. We actually got the real ending. Hopefully, right? Yep. We got all the endings. Alright, well, I think it's time to end it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Or stream, really. Hope you enjoyed me playing this game for freaking 3 hours. I know it was fun to make this video. I'm definitely going to revisit this game as like a Halloween episode or something. I don't know. We'll do something with it. But yeah, I plan on streaming a few other games coming up in the near future. I don't know when that will be exactly. But just be on the lookout for any surprise streams that I might do. I have a few games that I want to stream. Also might buy a game off of Steam to stream. I don't know. I'll figure it all out. But yeah, it's 1:24 a.m. where I'm at, and I'm going to bed. I'll see you guys in the next stream. I hope you all enjoyed this. We had fun. We played this game. The story was actually really good. The animation was pretty good too, for it only being like, how many, like 3 people who made this? Or no, more people actually, like 5 people who worked together on this. really great game. I honestly enjoyed it. I'm too tired to give like a, you know, like an overly excited reaction. But yeah, thanks so much for watching the stream. I'll be streaming again soon. Be on the lookout for that. Probably not this late. Probably like 7:38 at some point. But yeah, hope to see you guys in the next stream. Have a good night, good morning, whatever time it is for you. And yeah. So, subscribe if you're new. Join the Discord. Link is in the description. I have a server for fans where we can chat, whatever, get to know each other better. Turn this into a wholesome community. But yeah. Check out, check out Giant Cars 100. He does streams. He doesn't really do visual novels, but he does Sonic the Hedgehog stuff. Bunch of cool stuff. He's a good friend of mine, and we make collabs sometime. We do streams together. Yeah. I hope to see you guys in the next stream, and without further ado, goodbye. Oh wait. My bad, you guys. I forgot the oh my gosh. I forgot to stop it on the program. Alright. Yep, but without further ado, goodbye for real this time.